Ez vagy.
Szép jó napot kívánunk, nagyon sok szeretettel köszöntünk benneteket. Ez az első Puzzle Európa bajnokság utolsó napja.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. This is the last and third day of the very first European Jigsaw Puzzle Championship.
A csapatdöntő következik, csapattagok érkezhetnek az asztalhoz.
The team final is just about to start, so now we are asking everybody to come and sit down at your designated tables. Thank you.
Kérnénk szépen mindenkit, hogy a zsákokhoz egyelőre természetesen ne nyúljatok.
We are asking all of you not to touch the bags as usual. Thank you.
Van még üres asztal, közvetlenül itt előttünk is. Kérnénk szépen a csapat döntő résztvevőit, hogy érkezzenek az asztalokhoz.
We are asking you one more time to come and sit down at your designated tables. Thank you.
Még itt van egy üres asztal, egy osztrák csapat, hogyha jól látom a zászlót.
We are still waiting for the team from Austria.
Hölgyeim és uraim, kedves közönségünk, kedves puzzle rajongók, köszöntünk mindenkit az első Puzzle Európa bajnokság utolsó versenynapján, a csapatdöntőn.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear puzzle fans, welcome one more time on the last day of the very first European Jigsaw Puzzle Championship.
Hosszú és izgalmas napokon vagyunk túl, selejtezők, párosok, egyénik, de most jön az igazi kirakó nagyüzem.
We've been through long and very exciting days, pair events, qualifiers and singles, but now we're talking big business.
Az asztaloknál Európa legjobb csapatai, akik együtt gondolkodnak, együtt keresnek, és egyszerre is örülnek a sikernek.
On stage today, I mean at the tables, we can find now the best teams in Europe who think together, who search for it together, and maybe they are going to celebrate success together.
Nézzük a legfontosabb tudnivalókat. Először is kérünk mindenkit, hogy némítsátok le a telefonokat, ez a szurkolókra is vonatkozik.
I have extremely good news for all of you. This is the last time I'm going to tell you the rules. Please make sure that you put your cell phones on mute.
Minden csapat 2 darab 1000 darabos Ravensburger kirakót kap.
Every team is going to have 2 1000-piece Ravensburger puzzle.
És valamennyi csapat a piros körrel jelzett zsákkal kezdjen.
And it's very important that you start with the bag with the red dot.
És a sárga körrel jelzett zsákot pedig tegyétek az asztal alá.
The bag underneath with the yellow dot must go under the table.
Tehát ezt már meg is tehetitek, a sárga körrel jelzett zsákot nyugodtan tegyétek az asztal alá, a piros körrel jelzett zsák maradjon az asztal tetején. Igen.
Now this is the perfect time to put the bag with the yellow dot under the table.
A második puzzle-t akkor kezdhetitek el kirakni, ha az első kész van, és a bíró rögzítette az időtöket.
You can only start the bag with the yellow dot once you are done with the first puzzle.
A dobozokat előre kibontottuk, de ha valaki zárdobozt talál, akkor kérjük azonnal jelezze.
The boxes have been opened for you, but if you have any problems opening them, raise your hands and the helper is going there to help you.
Amint egy csapat elkészült, valamelyik csapattag emelje fel a kezét, és stop kiáltással jelezze, hogy készen vagytok.
Once you are finished with your puzzle, one of you should raise his or her hand and say stop.
Ha hiányzik egy darab, az természetesen nem szerencsés, de nincs érte időbüntetés.
If there is a piece missing, that's okay. There's no time punishment. We're gonna just record it just in case there is a draw.
Ennek csak akkor van jelentősége, hogyha az időkben holtverseny alakul ki. És akkor, kedves versenyzők, 1,5 perc a rajtig. Még annyi fontos információ, hogy a livestream természetesen működik, lehet követni a versenyt végig élőben.
Again, we are streaming live, so you can ask your family and friends to follow this championship online.
Az eredmények pedig a mopepuzzle.hu oldalon végig követhetők, ott már megtalálható az egyéni, illetve a páros végeredmény is.
And you can check all the results on our website, which is mopepuzzle.hu.
És még egy fontos információ, összesen 3 órátok van, tehát ugyanúgy, mint a selejtezőben, 3 óra a szintidő, ami rendelkezésre áll.
One more very important piece of information, that you will have 3 hours again to complete the 2 puzzles.
Még egy nagy kérés, kedves versenyzők, kedves szurkolók, itt vannak a segítőink, itt vannak a bíróink, kérném szépen, hogy a kezeket emeljétek fel, kedves segítők. Egy nagy-nagy tapssal köszönjük meg nekik az egész hétvégi munkát. A big applause, please! Hiszen nagyon-nagyon sokat dolgoztak azon, hogy minden tökéletesen menjen, és hogy jól érezzétek magatokat az első Puzzle Európa bajnokságon.
They have been working really hard to make this event go smoothly. Thank you.
És akkor jön a csapat döntő, az EB fináléja. Jövünk a visszaszámlálással.
Countdown coming up.
5,
5,
4,
4,
3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
puzzle!
And we are off. Welcome and jó reggelt. Good morning to everyone for the third day of the European Jigsaw Puzzle Championship in Budapest, Hungary. Today we have just one category left, which is going to be the finals of the team competition, as you can see. And everyone has already opened their boxes and is deep into flipping. And we are very excited to see which team is going to be the European champion of 2025. I am Fruzsi Wilhelm, as I have been the entire weekend, and today I am accompanied by Marian Kubinka-Mester, one of the organizers and a representative of the Hungarian Puzzle Association. So we're going to be having some chats while we are watching the competition unfold. Welcome, Marian.
Oh, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. So as Fruzsi mentioned, my name is Marian. I am one of the vice presidents of the Hungarian Jigsaw Puzzle Association, and welcome everybody on the first European Jigsaw Puzzle Championship.
How has the competition been on your side? It must have been very busy.
Yes, if I have to say one word, it's tiring. Much more tiring than expected, absolutely. So it's totally different than every national event what we organize. So it's much more level higher, and lots of exercises, lots of details what we have to think about, and lots of tiredness. And my biggest problem is that I feel that I cannot see almost anything from the competition.
Yeah, and you also can't follow the live stream. So
Exactly. I haven't seen one single moment from this live stream.
well, you're going to have the chance to take a look at it later on once you
Absolutely.
have had a little bit of rest after the event.
Yes, absolutely. This is what we would like to see and to do. And we are very much awaiting for all your feedbacks.
It is going. There's definitely a lot of questions that I think everybody has about how it is to organize a European championship. Like how long ago did you start working on this? How much planning went into organizing the competition?
I would say that our first thought, or the organizer's dream, and maybe János's dream, it came roughly 1 year ago, I would say.
Yes. I'm going to break you off a little bit, and we're going to take a look at the first puzzle. Now, as you have probably noticed, there are some dots on the bags, and that is actually one of the new rules that the organizers have implemented. It is based on the
US Championship.
Nationals.
Yeah.
So you can see that there's some dots on the puzzle bags, and everyone had to open the first puzzle, which is the red one, and that is Swirly Bird from Ravensburger. This is an unreleased puzzle so far.
Yes.
It is going to go into the European market.
As I heard, the official release date is 1st of July. So it can happen that somebody have already seen, but hopefully not. And we hope also that none of the participants could have a chance and try it.
Yes, so it was a surprise, and we are going to keep the second puzzle hidden because each team has to complete 2 puzzles today in this set order. So there's no choice like yesterday when they could choose from 4 different puzzles, and it is going to be exciting to see. It is a challenging one.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, a bird. It's an artwork. It is kind of like a collage, I would say, of different materials being put together. The artist is Jennifer Lambein, texturedhome.com. So, yeah, it is an artwork, and yeah, there's a lot of little details as well that are quite charming. I really like the teacup in the bird. So the bird has all different elements to it. We are probably going to see the bird being formed very early on.
Yes.
Most probably everyone is going to start working on that. Probably the green wings, which are,
Yep.
yes, very much standing out.
Green and blue, and maybe this part as well, the pink one, I think, because it's easy to select.
It is very possible that that can be sorted very early on as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there's a lot of things going around, but there's a big chunk of white, which can be very tricky for the participants today.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that almost all the teams are different, and all the people in the teams are different. And in lots of teams, I'm sure there are participants who like to put very much the one color part. So, for example, from Hungarian teams, I know some people who really likes not the busy puzzles, but what is one color,
Yes.
and they are very quick in it.
Yes, there are people whose strength definitely is the one big chunk of color. And hello, Michelle. We see some of the comments here. We're going to also be trying to like react on some of them, and it is indeed a July release. And yes, you can also get it in the speedpuzzle.eu shop by Michelle of the Euro Jigsaw Jam.
Okay.
So it is a lovely puzzle. I like it very much so far, and it's just enough challenge for it to be in a European champion titling competition. Connected to that, can you tell me who made the puzzle choices or how the puzzle selection went for the event?
I would say that the more board members of the association, Hungarian association, made all the choices from the different pictures what we could get. This is valid also for the truffle and also for the Ravensburger.
Yeah, so you decided which is going to be
Yeah.
used in which one. But then with the trefoil one, we had that little mix up with the box. So you had that set that set of pictures, or
No, we had lots of pictures. I would say roughly 50, 60 pictures. And we selected which one we would like to be part of the European Championship. And at the first time, we still didn't know what would be the exact quality of this puzzle. So we didn't know whether it would be a Premium Plus or this T-Time series, what we could see finally. And even we were not sure whether it would be an unpublished or published. Finally, we could reach this opportunity that all the qualifier puzzles were unpublished. And I think that it's a very good point because everybody had fair play.
yes, it is definitely something that people have been campaigning for
Yeah.
big events. So
Yeah.
I can imagine that it was like a big goal for you.
Absolutely, and it was a big success, I would say, that we could do this.
Yes, and even though the pictures ended up on the box,
Yeah.
I think I can share this.
Yes.
That we had a phone call, I think about a week before the competition, just to talk about the details of how we're going to do the whole live stream and everything. And I heard from Marian that we went to check out the puzzles because they have been shipped, and we couldn't really decide if we want to laugh or cry.
At first we freezed. We wanted to cry because it was not aligned at all, that all the puzzle pictures would be on the back of the box. So it would be a nightmare for the first time when we could see it. And finally, we were laughing because we couldn't do anything else. And we hoped that it would be a joke for lots of the participants to find out what will be the next puzzle on the different groups. And of course, it could be very easy to find out. For example, when you could see in the pair category, the Manhattan Bridge, that something similar should be in the other pair group
Yes.
puzzle. Yeah.
Yes, and the way I look at it is that it is like a first step, that it's already an unpublished. Now that there was this little hiccup that it was on the
Yes.
box, it's still unpublished for everyone. So just seeing it in a small image on the back of the box is not the same as completing the puzzle itself.
Yeah.
And I have actually heard from some competitors who were obviously looking at it, trying to make strategies and everything, that based on the small image, it felt way more difficult than the puzzle actually was.
Of course.
And and not all the strategies that they thought of would work, because there's a lot of details that you can't make out on it. So the way I look at it, it is a first step that is at least unpublished, and then next time most probably also the manufacturers are going to know that that's
Yes.
not necessarily something that you want on a box.
Unfortunately, yes, this was one negative feedback from the competition. What we could hear from other point of view, I can say that we got almost only positive feedback. So we are very happy about it. Yes, yes. Unfortunately, we couldn't think about it, that they would do like this strategy that all the pictures would be on the back. And our biggest problem was from this point of view that everybody knew what would be the puzzle for the solo final. And at first, when we chose this puzzle, this picture, we thought that it is a very nice one. It's difficult enough for a final, for a solo final, but it wasn't a surprise at all.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this is our biggest problem, but that's life.
It is kind of good that the biggest problem is something that you really couldn't influence from the organizer side. So like it's a manufacturer side thing, and you can't really do anything about it. So like if that's the biggest problem with the organization of a competition, that is actually not an organization thing, then I would say that it's pretty much a success.
Yes, because as I mentioned at the beginning, there were lots of details what we realized and thought about, and one learning from this point of view, that we still have to think about more in advance, that what could be another possibility to have any problem from manufacturer's side. So definitely we have to align, I would say, almost all the sizes of and all the part of the box, that what to show, what to write.
Yes,
to be fully aligned with the producer and with the manufacturer. Yeah.
Yes. And then another recurring question that I have been getting in the stream, which are like all things that is better to ask from the organizer, is what was the reason behind using Treffel and Ravensburger in the end? Of like, how did that choice come to be?
So lots of participants who already take part in international championships, in most cases they meet Ravensburger. Ravensburger is everywhere. In most countries also the national competitions are covered by Ravensburger. But here in Hungary, we are very good relationship with the Treffel. So it's a few years relationship already. They cover our national championships, and not just the championship, but also we have other kind of events, what they also cover with puzzles. And we thought that it would be good, as in all sector of the world, if there is a competition. And yeah, it had good points and bad points, because due to this situation, the Treffel could be more popular in the international events. This is a big advertising for them as well. We learned a lot from each other. I mean, the association and the Treffel as a manufacturer or producer. So we are very happy to work with them all together, but not to be without Ravensburger, and we like very much this strategy what also on the World Championship you can meet, that there are 4 puzzles, you can choose 2, and after that on the final, if it works, to play with unpublished puzzles. So we tried to do this mixture, and I can say that it worked. It worked, and I hope that as we have lots of Polish participants, they are very happy about to meet Treffel puzzles here as well on an international championship.
Yes, because in Poland, like Treffel is a Polish brand, and so they use Treffel puzzles for, I think, a majority of their competitions. So Treffel is very prominent in Poland, and yes, also in Hungary. I think for how much I can remember, like the Hungarian competitions that I have been to, those were all also Treffel puzzles for individuals. Yes. What else did we still want to talk about? There is a question from Michelle. So yes, this is Marian, if you have missed the introduction, from the Hungarian Association. And yes, what are the plans now that the competition is almost over?
So what we learned from the World Federation and the board member of the federation, so soon a European community will be set up, and they want to handle the European Championship. I don't know definitely what would be the timing of the European Championship, but the idea is to organize the European Championship in different countries, so not in the same country, but it's absolutely in progress. So there are not too many knowledge about it. Just to know about it, when Fruji asked me how or when this idea came into our mind to organize this European Championship almost 1 year ago, we asked the federation, the World Federation, whether they were thinking about to organize this kind of activity on a European level, and the answer was no, because they were thinking at that time mainly on World Championship. But we thought that the World Championship is organized mainly in Spain in the previous years, that it would be great if on the eastern part of Europe there would be something big event, because lots of people cannot afford to travel to the western part of Europe. And also the Hungarians like very much at least watching the international competitions, and it's a totally different experience for them as well to watch it through live streams or to take part in it in person and put together the puzzles next to a very, I would say, famous or celebrity who are very quick, and this is an amazing experience for them.
Yes.
And that's why we receive lots of positive feedback from Hungarians that it's amazing for them, and if it happens only once this year, it would be enough for a longer period for them to memorize and then think about it. So it's absolutely a great moment for us as well.
Yes, I can confirm that it was really a special feeling that because it's a small community, so everyone is following each other on Instagram or on Facebook, and like seeing all these people suddenly turn up in Budapest in like places that I know was already like quite special. So to have all these people like come to home or come so close to home, it is very special, and it's very nice to bring something to Eastern Europe in that sense, which I very much agree with. And it was also great to see that like people just randomly signed up to join the competition. I did hear some numbers of like how many people have been coming to like the Hungarian competitions before, and how many have come from Hungary to this competition.
So, for example, this year at the end of March we organized the national championships, and there were 105 individual participants in amateur category, because in Hungary we organize in individual, amateur and also professional category, and in professional there were 21 people, and there were pairs like 60-70 something, and around 35 teams. It means that there were roughly, I would say, 150, 170 people from Hungary who took part on the national championship. Now in the European Championship there are approximately 350 Hungarian participants. And we don't know at least half of them, because they were just coming from I don't know where, but it means that the Hungarian championship could be on a wider for the coming year, for example.
Yes, you can plan with more people.
Yes, absolutely.
And
this
then
is what you
actually something else that I have been meaning to find out the entire time, but because it has been just so busy at the event, I never managed to find out how many countries entered.
28. 28. It's a huge number.
That is a lot of countries.
Yes.
So we have, and in total, how many participants, if you can
Around
remember?
700.
Yes.
700, and half of them are Hungarians.
Yes, it's a big number.
Yeah.
Did you expect so many people to turn up?
Honestly, last year when we were taking part in the World Championship, we realized that the number of the participants doubled. in the World Championship. And we thought that there would be even more participants in the European Championship as well, but we didn't take into account that in the meantime, I would say that this puzzling community is developing so quick that in almost all countries there are big national championships. And for example, if you check the timetable of the World Federation about the championships, almost all the weekend there is a competition, a big competition. Some of them are closed only for that national, some of them are open, or some regional championships, for example, like in the northern region. So it means that there are more and more championships. Not everybody can take part on all of them because it's so from financial point of view it can be expensive as well to travel so much. But honestly, we could calculate even more participants. But we are very, very happy that we could reach this level, because even this is more than our, how can I say, expectation.
Yes, so more people turned up than what you
Yes,
counted
absolutely, absolutely.
with.
So
No, I'm super happy to hear that. And then we have actually stepped over 20 minutes. We got a little lost in the discussion here,
Yes.
and we can get back to the competition a little. So yes, 20-minute mark, and the puzzle is starting to form. It does show to be a little bit more challenging for the participants. There's a lot of white, as I have been looking around. So it's, yeah, also for us, it's harder to see because it's a white background and white pieces, white-ish pieces, because like in the image, it's not entirely white, but it's bright. So there is some pattern everywhere, which might be helpful when completing the puzzle. But we're going to have to see how much people are figuring it out, because as we were expecting, that pink wave that is coming in from the left,
yeah.
that is being formed in most of the teams, and you can actually see that there's one designated person working on each on that one, and then there was also the green, how is it called, the wing of the bird that is being formed. Probably we're also going to see the head and like the bottom part of the bird, which is black. That could also be made out, maybe the branch later, but then at one point people can't really avoid that grayish, white-ish color. So that's most probably going to be the very end. It is a challenging image, but yes, there are a lot of patterns that you can go by. So probably those who are more experienced or more in the competitive mindset now, they can find like the patterns of the white parts. Yes. How would you go about this?
Absolutely, what you mentioned, we would start with the colorful parts. So absolutely with this pink one, maybe the upper part of the picture, and also with the bird, the branch, and also with the small letters. So lots of people can find some smaller details which can help in put together the picture. Anyway, we don't think that it's good if a picture is set up on a very short time. So it's not a problem, and even if we are talking about a team competition, there are 4 people, so it's 8 hands.
Yes.
So I think it's not a problem if the picture is not ready in 30 minutes or 35 minutes. It can be longer. The teams have 3 hours for the 2 pictures. So I think that, for example, if I remember the last year World Championship, in the qualifier, in the first round, we could choose from 4 pictures, and all of them were related to something natural. So lots of greens, or a castle with lots of dark parts. So I would say that even those pictures were not easy at all, so more challenging, as you said. So we will see. And sometimes it happens that the participants of the team just putting together some parts, and when they put it in one, after a few minutes, it's bigger and bigger. So we will see.
Yes. I do think that, especially for like a championship, you do need a puzzle that is more challenging.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it's a higher level. Like on a smaller local competition, you do maybe want to have a puzzle that is more doable for everyone, especially if there's more casual people that turn up to puzzle. You want them to succeed as well, even though like if there's someone who is like more on the faster side, they might be done super quick. And it's also exciting to watch people be quick because that's
Yes.
yeah, that's the adrenaline. But then you also want it to be doable for everybody else. So this is, I think, a very nice balance. The bird is going to be very doable, and as you were saying, like once you had these elements done, from then on, it's really on the choreography of how people can navigate the 8 hands to fill in the I think super challenging white section and background.
We will see. And because I mentioned the history of choosing the pictures from Treffel, but I haven't mentioned the Ravensburger part. From Ravensburger, we received a small number of opportunities. So I would say that we try to find 2 which are easier to put together than the others. So I would say that all the other opportunities were much more challenging.
Yes, it is. From what I have heard as well, there is a different way of distributing puzzles in Hungary. So it's not exactly the same as in I would say Western Europe. Can you tell me about a little bit about like how the distribution works here?
We have a company called Régió Játék. They are here anyway on the upstairs and selling some puzzles. So they are the official Hungarian distributor of Ravensburger, and we are contact with them. So not with Ravensburger, but with this company, with Régió Játék.
Yes, so that is how the puzzles got to this competition. So
Exactly.
not directly from Ravensburger. And yes, for those who are here at the venue or around the Budapest area, there is a little puzzle shop set up upstairs in the spectator area. So there's still some puzzles available. And from what I have heard from them, this puzzle is available. So
Exactly.
the bird, the second, which is a secret, that is not. So that's going to be like a special thing that you are going to have to get from somewhere else later.
Yes, yes.
But as I have heard, the bird is also available like all around Europe now.
Yes,
so
yes.
It's a July release now.
Yes, so they couldn't promise us an totally unpublished puzzle, but as the official release date is 1st of July and now the competition is from 4th to 6th, we hope that it wouldn't be a problem, so not many people will at least see or get this puzzle to try and practice.
Yeah, even if they see it, most probably they are not going to like buy puzzles 4 days before the competition.
Yes, exactly.
They might be busy traveling.
And maybe it would have been a bit frustrating.
Yes, it would have been. And in the meantime, in the stream, we can already see like nice big sections being done.
Yes.
So all the big sections that we have been talking about, these blocks of color, those are all getting very close to being done. But yeah, the white section is going to be where you're going to have to see how the team can work together, how they can navigate what goes where. It's also very hard to tell, so I'm not sure how much it's visible everywhere else, but the white sections do have like a kind of pattern that can help you make a difference. But the white section below the bird, there is like one that is, I think, in the background, it might be some kind of
Bottle
jar or
yeah.
bottle, so that you can kind of make out. But then there's like just paint, I think, and like some writing that is like hidden in the back. But that is present in like 3 different parts of the puzzle. So that is hard because when you pick one piece up, you're not going to know which section it actually goes to, and you're going to most probably go by shape. So we might see some shape sorting happen later on once it's just the white pieces left. And I can actually see that there's some like glitter hidden on the bird as well, which is like a nice touch on like the white sections there on the screen. You can see it at the moment that there's some glitter hidden all around. So it's a very colorful bird.
Absolutely, it's very nice and very colorful. What can be an easier task for the participants, and of course they have to struggle with the other part as well.
And we are hitting the half-hour mark, and also for now, it doesn't seem like there is a team that is extremely close to being to being finished. Like on 1,000 pieces, I think it has been more and more typical to have like 40 something minutes,
Yes.
even like under 40 minutes, like 35, 37 minutes to have a 1,000 piece puzzle done. But it looks like there's not much left. And here in the German team's table, you can actually see that there's just a lot of that white.
Yes, exactly.
Even for the EJJ team, the EJJ Squad, which is an international team, including Kati, who has won the individual competition yesterday, and the pairs competition with Chiara, who is also at the table on the right side. Even them, they still have a lot of that white left. But it looks like there is already some shape sorting going on. So Victor in the bottom, we can't exactly see what he's doing, but it looks like he's handing over piece shapes already. So they are trying to navigate the shape sorting a little bit.
You know that today there is only this teams final, and we didn't want to have too many free time for the participants, so they could be busy with this puzzle at least 1 hour or even more, which means that they will not miss the puzzling in the other 2 hours.
Yes. Now, just seeing those white pieces, it gives me the itch a little bit. It's just a lot of white. And also, for some teams, a lot of teams use boards to solve the 1,000 piece puzzles, because with just so many hands, it's easier to like move bigger blocks when you have connected them and all that. So a lot of them use boards, and you can, exactly there, you can see like a puzzle board that is black, which might help here, but that is also like a very personal thing, like whether it works for a puzzler to have a black board. But here it seems very, very practical, because all of a sudden you can better see the shapes at least. So yes, that is a tactic that can pay off, to have a black board here.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And now, Fuji, may I ask you something?
Yes, of course.
Which is not related to this picture, but you are here 10 hours on Friday, 12 hours yesterday. How do you feel yourself that not competing, just hosting, which is, I would say, that even bigger task?
Yes, well, I have been getting the question of whether I want to puzzle or not, and I was slightly jealous during the finals because I would have loved to do the Budapest puzzle with one of my pairs that I puzzle with sometimes. So that would have been great to participate in. I'm actually not jealous of doing the tree, but well, the way I ended up being the host, it goes back to there, is that when you told me that there's going to be like a European Championship that you're thinking of organizing, I was thinking to myself that I really want to help, because I have been to the Hungarian competitions before, and those are just such heartwarming experiences. So it's always like meeting family and friends. So those are extremely special, and you put your heart and soul into organizing these competitions. So I wanted to help in any way that I could, and I kind of have like related experience from my studies and my previous professional experience. So like I'm used to talking in public, and I thought that this is the way that I could really help the event. And in that sense, I'm not missing puzzling now. And also like it's not really a secret that I get most of these puzzles. So I'm going to be busy afterwards with the puzzles themselves. So I'm not that sorry for not puzzling right now. It's a different kind of rush. Like when I started speed puzzling, I actually compared it to simultaneous interpretation from back in the day, because it's the same kind of rush. You get hyper focused. Your brain is just like on overdrive the entire time. You don't feel what is happening around you. So it relates a little bit to like a profession that I miss very much. And so this is kind of connected. So it felt like it's obvious. And then the other thing is that even though I'm a decent speed puzzler, so like I'm not slow, but I'm also not a top 20, so it's not really going to be like a super disappointing thing that I'm not there, and you know, like I'm not contending for a European champion title. So I was thinking that this time I can just help out and work here instead of puzzling, and then next year I can participate if I want to. That was my main idea.
Yeah, and thank you very much, because it is also a very huge help for us, for being here and for representing this part. And I would say that from speed puzzling now you turn to speed speaker.
It felt like that, especially during the individual final yesterday, because it was so exciting to watch, and there were so many finishers at the same time, and also because the camera crew was like running around like crazy. They were putting on
Jumping
split
from here
screens,
to there.
and they were just trying to like catch the more people on camera as possible. But it felt like almost like, I don't know, commentating on like a Formula One event or something like that, because there was just so many things happening. So it really felt like you just like go with the flow in it. So yeah, it was like a special experience. So I'm kind of glad that I exchanged puzzling for this time.
Okay, okay, thank you. Anyway, it was very exciting for us as well, just standing in front of the participants and trying to find out what would be the order, the ranking between them, because there were, I would say that there were at least 8-10 tables at the same time with almost the same speed. So it was really busy, absolutely, with the camera crew, and I would say that we were more excited
Oh yes.
than the participants to catch everybody.
And then I also think that for the camera crew, it was also like a super big challenge, because there's actually 4 people moving
Yes.
around with the cameras. But then what I actually never thought of it, but I was told afterwards that like if you have 4 people on the screen, then you have 4 people on the screen. The cameras can't move.
Yeah.
So even if you play with the split screens, then you can't move one camera. Or you can't move any of the cameras, so then you're stuck with those 4 people, and then you miss probably 4 other ones.
Yes.
So it also has been like a very technical thing, and also you don't want the camera crew just running over and like knocking over people, because people are like there is a lot of room. So like compared to Worlds, for example, this venue is way more comfortable. There is room between the tables, but it's still tight. So it's not that easy to move the cameras around either. So it has been a huge challenge.
Yes, yes, exactly. It's absolutely exciting, and we are really grateful for almost this whole technical stuff, because technicians are very professional, I would say, and the whole team is working together perfectly.
Yes, I also think they have been doing a stellar job. So a big shout out to the live stream crew. And here we actually see the Czech puzzle queens, and they're closing in on the puzzle. It's 37 minutes in, and also the EJJ squad is very close to finishing up. They pretty much just have about 3 big gaps in the puzzle. There's some pieces missing on the top as well, but it's hard to see on the white background. But we are, somewhere around 40 minutes, I would say. They're going to be done with the first puzzle. Maybe,
yes.
I'm optimistic, because the smaller the holes are, the easier it is to fill them in. And with the Czech puzzle team before, we could see that they also have shape sorted already.
Yes.
So yes, it's those white gaps that are going to decide here of like how good the team is in finding out, finding the shapes to fit them in. Because from here on, it's really, there's not much to go on by.
Yeah, exactly. I am very much excited about it as well. So and also, I'm looking for the Hungarian teams. That
yes,
how they are working.
We are also sending out some special love to the Hungarian teams that are participating here, because it's people that we know. And here we see a team from Germany. They're called Pistagoras. So they have, I think, got a podium place in yesterday's competition, in the qualifications. So that is why they are also in front of the stage. That's a fun fact, actually, that we can also share. The way the teams are sorted is mostly based on the placement that they got the previous day.
Exactly.
So how is it made up then?
You know that what we communicated as well, that 50 teams went to the final from the two qualifiers, and absolutely the time result was the first point what we look at, and of course we put one from the A, one from the B groups, and absolutely based on the time result. So the best ones are in front of the stage.
Yes, the fastest ones. But
Fastest,
it's still
yeah.
not set in... Yes, but it's still not set in stone of like who's... Like just because you qualified on the as like the first place
Yeah.
in the previous round, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to be the fastest this time.
Exactly.
As with speed puzzling, usually it is very much dependent on the picture as well.
Absolutely.
And yes, we're over the 40-minute mark in the meantime, and people are still shape sorting. So the top teams currently, based on what we have seen on the live stream, is probably the EJJ squad and the Czech Puzzle Queens. But there might be someone else in the corner that we haven't exactly noticed yet. The camera crew is zooming around, and we actually also have like an overhead view for ourselves here in the stream, where we can also see a little bit of the progress. It's a little bit further away, so...
Yes, yes.
And yes, but we're going to zoom in on some of the teams that are getting very close to finishing the first puzzle, which is going to be exciting for us, because then we can find out what the second puzzle is going to be.
Yeah, and for example, we can see from here where we are sitting, we can see the EJJ team, and then lots of people are standing around or the right side. So it means that they are very much close to the finish.
Yes, people are gathering up here just
Absolutely.
to take a peek of how they are finishing the last pieces.
But one thing is sure, that everybody is very much amazed by these participants who are so quick, that it's absolutely amazing experience for everybody, because it's almost like a different world.
It is.
And exactly, for example, we heard from the technicians that they couldn't think about it, how this competition is working
It's
on.
hard to see, but I
Yeah.
think they have the last pieces.
Oh,
and done.
Yes.
Yes, bird is gone.
Katarina has lots of prizes.
Well, not yet. Everything
yet.
that hangs on the second puzzle of how much of
Yeah.
an advantage
Yes,
they have picked up
exactly.
now. Because the sooner you finish the first puzzle, the sooner you can start the second one. That is true, but it depends also on what the other picture is like.
And I think that for most team, this second picture would be maybe easier.
Yes.
We will see.
And
It
we're
depends.
we're going to have to see, because for now we can only see one table doing it, but we can already take like a peek of what that puzzle is going to be, and excitedly await the other teams to finish. We see the Polish team also, yeah, working on the white backgrounds here. It is not easy here.
Absolutely not.
So the EJJ squad is definitely in the lead, because they have started their second puzzle already. So we can start looking at the results as well, just to like keep track. During the entire event, you're going to be able to follow the results of how the teams are doing and how your friends are doing, if you want to take a look. It is all available on the website. And let's see the other puzzle, because I'm also excited to find out what it is. You can already see it on the screen. This is, yeah, it also has like a yellow dot on it, so like everyone can know that this is the second one, and only find out about it once they unwrap the puzzle. And this is upside down. It's a Frida Kahlo, also an artwork, super busy, lots of flowers.
Not so one color part of the picture.
Not
very
big, no
colorful.
big sections of just one color, but there are repeating colors. So there's a lot of the same blue flower, for example, that is popping up. There's a nice background that you can also maybe use. There's a very defined edge.
Yes, absolutely.
So probably, well, the edge is going to also be challenging, because there's just a little parts that are of the flowers that are appearing on the edge pieces. So It might be that they don't do the edge very early on, and it might be
No.
something that they finish with, even, just to
But
like fill
I
out the
would
middle.
say that if we look at the strategies of the quickest teams, I don't think that any of these teams would start with the edges. So most of them start to sort somehow the colors and put together them, even if they are repeating. They are very quick in putting them together. You are looking for the artist, yeah?
Yes, I am looking for the artist, but I actually don't see it. It's just that it's the Frida Kahlo Corporation, so it's probably something from there or their in-house artist, something like that. Frida Kahlo has been like a
Popular
a
one.
very popular, yeah, element, I would say, or personality of puzzles as well. Yeah, the camera crew wanted to look up the puzzle, and at one point I could hear it from them that we tried to look up like Frida Kahlo, and it's just like, you know, there's so many puzzles of Frida Kahlo. So yes, it is going to also be an interesting one to see. And the Czech puzzle queens are super close to finishing their puzzle as well. It's just a couple of pieces left and done. Second one done.
Second, yes.
Second team starting their puzzle. And they got Frida Kahlo as well.
And it's also very interesting to see, to watch the teams when they change the puzzles, how quick they are in getting the first one into the box in a few seconds, and after that opening the other one, and the strategy is absolutely defined, so everybody knows what to do. No hurry, just doing what they want. Yeah.
Yes.
Also the Hungarian teams are close
Yes.
to finish.
The third place might actually go to them for this one puzzle. That is also going to be visible in the results of like how quick each individual team completed one puzzle. But it looks like they are the closest now with all the pieces on the puzzle already.
Which is a nightmare for me, because I cannot imagine how they can put together the puzzle, that the puzzle pieces are on the picture. So
Like
for me, it's a nightmare.
Oh yeah, of how they can distinguish, especially with the white background, the
Yes.
white top, yes. But yeah, it's also a good strategy because they don't have to move the pieces
course.
from that far away.
Close,
So
yeah.
it can either be with a board or just
Yeah,
on top
and
of the
it's
puzzle.
ready.
And it's done. Third one to start their second puzzle.
Oh, they are not so professional, I would say,
Or,
like the Czech one.
or they just messed up the choreography that they usually have.
Yes.
Yes, it does cost you like important seconds, because
Exactly.
in a lot of these competitions, in a lot of the rounds, you could see that there's just like a 1 or 2 second difference, and it can sometimes even decide, like, yeah, you might miss out on a final
Of
on
course.
just 1 or 2 seconds, and those 1 or 2 seconds can be extremely irritating.
Important and
Because-
important.
Because then you know that it would have been possible, or you could have done better, but you lost out on something like this.
Yeah, exactly. You can never know that every second, or which second is the most important in this competition.
Yes.
And
And the Hungarian team is also already flipping, and it's going to be a colorful one. But it also seems like there's not that many colors, they just repeat a lot. So there's a lot of the yellow, there's a lot of that turquoise, bluish. There's maybe that one distinct black, which is, yeah, exactly.
they realized as well that would be the
Briggy was also
easiest
pointing
one, yeah.
pointing at the code of like that is easy to sort, and they're already sorting as well, which is like pretty cool to see of like how they're already piling pieces out. A question that we have received of where the next European Championship will be organized, it's in progress.
It's in progress.
So-
Absolutely no clue about it.
So for now, it's not going to be here.
It's very much yeah. It's absolutely true that I don't think that it would be in Hungary. We will see that how this European community should be set up, and what will be the timing, how much time they need to organize, at least vote about the coming country where to organize the next European Championship. So I know that everybody is excited, but I can say that we even don't know more than you.
Yes, I do find it fair that like the competition is going to move around
Of
because
course.
then you know everyone can get a chance eventually to like not have to travel far away. Because not everyone can travel very far because of holidays, because of it is not cheap to
Absolutely,
travel to
yeah.
places. So it is nice to move a championship around like this, so that more and more people get the chance to just randomly sign up if it's in their home city.
And what I am very happy about it, what I heard yesterday and the day before yesterday from some participants, that for us this is the first time to come to Hungary. Or there are some participants where I could hear that this is the first time that they moved somewhere else than their own country. So it's a very nice experience, I think, for us as well to host them here in Hungary, and also it's a very nice experience for them as well to come here and find out what they can see in Hungary, in Budapest. So it's anyway a very nice city, very nice country. So it's worth coming here.
Yes,
And
this is our biased opinion.
yes, yes, absolutely.
And we're just over 50 minutes, and what shows that this is pretty challenging a puzzle is that only 3 teams have been finished so far. Maybe a 4th one is already in progress. You can see them in the bottom left corner, the Finnish team that have won the qualification round yesterday. And also the Austrian team is getting close.
Okay.
And in the meantime, Poland actually slipped in.
Wow.
I haven't noticed them on the screen before yet. So yeah, they're the 4th to finish the first puzzle, and now they're finding out about the second one.
So, and as Fruzsi mentioned, you can follow all the results on the mopepuzzle.hu site. This is our association website, and just get this opportunity or moment, grab this moment to thank all the support for the German association, because we could customize the whole system, this whole setup, this website of the Hungarian association based on their website. So we are really, really grateful for lots of help what we could get from there. So we cannot say enough. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, there have been a lot of people that contributed to this competition happening.
Absolutely.
It's actually one very charming thing that I have seen happen before each and every round. The Finnish team is about to finish.
Yeah. Finish is finished.
The Finnish is Finnish. But yes, they are switching to the next one. There is a piece missing. There it is. No, they're looking for... there 2 people are already looking for the next puzzle while the others are finishing it, which is also nice. It's a good choreography. Puzzle box fell down, or puzzle holder. And the other puzzle is put away, and the next one is out. Also for the Swiss/German team is switching to the second puzzle. Yes, so more and more people are finishing up on the bird and finding out about Frida Kahlo. Because what is also, I think, important to mention is that these people that are puzzling, they don't see what the second puzzle is when others are opening it up. So you don't really look around onto other tables. So, so they don't get the chance to look around because they are focusing on their own puzzle. Yes, they can't really look around, so you don't really have the time, really. There's a quick question here. Can an 11-year-old participate in the individual category?
It depends on the rules, what the association or the organizer put into place. From our point of view, in most cases, we followed the World Championship rules.
And the Austrian team is finished.
Yes, in the meantime. So, for example, what they used to write in their rules, we followed that in individual category, we allow participants from 14 years old, but we already got yesterday evening request, if I can say that it would be great to start also a kid category for the younger people, because there are some very, very talented young players in this jigsaw puzzle community, I would say, from different countries.
Yes. And then another comment is that they don't find it fair to make a team from 4 countries, and it would be good if people would be allowed to are not allowed to change the country that they play for. And it's actually a very much ongoing debate, I think.
Yeah.
And everyone has very pronounced opinions. I also have very pronounced opinions. Yes, I think at this point, I'm going to ask you about like how it was from the organizer side, but I think at this point, it's not the sport is not professional enough yet to have enough people in one country. So you don't want to exclude people just because they can't find the enough people from their country to participate, and you want it to be more and more open so that people can take part if they want to. So at this point, it's hard to make just national teams, but it's also not entirely right, because it's rather like an open championship than like, let's say, world championship, where it's exactly the same, where you can kind of like choose, but there's a rule for like what country you want to represent. So I think that the sport still has to grow for it. How was it from the organizer side?
So again, I can say that the beginning point was that we followed some rules from the World Championship. And for example, if you are familiar with the World Championship rules, you know that they use also these country rules. For example, if you are qualified from the first round to the semi-final or to the final, there are some places which can be filled based on the time result, and some places based on the country rules. We thought that if we are talking about a championship and we think about other sports, for example, the only point where you can make the ranking is the time. So we thought that it's not fair enough to say that because you are the only one participant from a country, you are qualified because of this reason and not because of your time result. So we thought that we wouldn't use these country rules, only the time results. And from this point of view, if you are in a team and yes, you put one flag, you put one nationality behind the team, but I think it's not about the country, but it's about the team and the participants. And for example, another point that we could make it possible to register it also in person. There were lots of people who originally registered in advance only in individual or in pair category, for example, but based on this whole feeling, what they can see here and feel here, they thought that it would be great to participate also in the team competition. And that's why it was a good point. And also there were not so many participants in the team list. So for example, we thought that there are 2 groups and the first 50 can qualify themselves to the final. And there were in the first round only 110 teams, which means that almost all the team can be qualified to the final, but it's also a big opportunity for other people who decided that it would be great to take part in the team competition, that they had the chance, and finally, not so many, but 5 additional teams set up, and it could happen that also in this in-person registration, there were 4 people from 4 different countries.
Yes.
But they found each other, and I think that for them it's a great experience, it's a great opportunity that on this way they could take part because there were no other people from the same country.
Yes. It also feels like it's a difference in mentality.
Yes.
We're going to continue this, but I'm going to say that we're approaching 1 hour now, and we have more and more teams finishing the bird. We already have 10 on the result list. So, yeah, 10 teams are already working on their second puzzle, and probably there's more and more finishing them. There's more results incoming, but obviously there is a little bit of processing time for the results to come in. The paper slips that are on the tables that the judges have to fill out, they actually have to reach the admin table where the results are tracked. So yes, that does take a little bit of time, but the website is updated real time. Yes, what were we talking about? The teams, the international teams.
International.
So yes, pretty much in this competition, if all of a sudden it was said that like only national teams are allowed, it would have cut the team registrations in half,
Exactly.
or even like a third of the teams, because there's just not enough people who are participating yet. I would very much like to highlight yet. So I think as soon as there's more people, there's more participants, yeah, and it just turns into a more professional sport. It's going to be possible to say, okay, just one nation in a team, based on whatever regulation. I'm very strongly campaigning for residence, for example. So if someone lives in a country but they're not a citizen yet, or yeah, if there's any reason but they have lived in a country for a long time, then they should be able to participate as that country as well, because not everyone gets the chance to get back to the country that they are citizens of. So yes, it's a work in progress, and also it's the very first European Championship. So it has to start somewhere, is
Yeah.
what I would say as well.
Exactly, and of course everybody can learn from other events, from other organized events, at what were the rules there. So honestly, we created our own rules from this European Championship. I would say that from most point of view, we follow the World Championship rules, but some point of view, we had some differences in our national championship, what we feel a bit more closer to the people's feeling, and we wanted to integrate it also into these international rules. I'm sure that if the European community will be set up, they will define the exact rules for the European Championship, and the organizers should follow those ones. From this point of view, we were a bit independent, I would say, and we created our own ones.
Yes. And we're just over 1 hour, well, 1 hour and 2 minutes already. We have seen just at the hour mark that one Hungarian team has finished,
Yes.
on the mark almost. And also the Dutchy team on the top left is now switching. So yes, more and more finishers are flying in with the first puzzle and switching over to the second one. For now, in the team results, I can see 13 teams being done, but I think we're easily by 15, 16 by now.
And I am very much curious about the average time of these two puzzles, because as we mentioned, the first one is very challenging and the second one is very colorful and very busy. So at first sight, I would say that the first puzzle is more complicated and it needs more time to put together, and the second one needs less. But it can happen. It depends absolutely on the teams, what is their strategy, what is their strengths, and how they can solve this this task.
Yes, I don't know. I can't really decide which might be more difficult, because they're difficult in very, very different ways.
Yes.
So yeah, the bird has like this big chunk of white that you have to shape sort, most likely. So you have to like do a lot of things by shape sorting to finding out. Someone has been caught on camera. And Yes, so you have to figure out how to navigate that one big block of color and navigate through that. But with the other one, you have just so many tiny details that you have to figure out that are like very similar. That are also harder to place because like the blue flower appears like all over the place. So they are very challenging in different ways. And there's also like two parrots that I haven't noticed until like.
And the monkey.
Oh yeah, the monkey I have noticed like very early on, and then there's also a butterfly, but there's two of the butterflies, for example.
Yes.
So there's a lot of repeating elements, which actually create like a pretty challenging puzzle. Like I think one of the things that make a puzzle super challenging is if you have like repeating elements on multiple parts of the puzzle, because it takes time to figure out like where and how. You can place them. So yes, because you have to keep zooming around the image. So you have to try all around, and you're not just focused on one area when you see one color. So that can cost time.
Exactly.
Swedish team is getting closer to finishing the bird as well. On the top right. And the team from, I want to say France. I think that's France in the bottom left. And I think on the top left as well. It looks like, and yes, the team on the bottom left actually have a runner who has already stopped puzzling while two other people finish the puzzle, which can be very practical in some ways, because that runner can like go and get the puzzle box so that they can put it away, can go around the table and see if there is a piece missing that is on the floor. So like someone just checking what is happening, which I think is super practical in the team.
Absolutely.
Like this is the fun thing about a team competition as well, that you have the four people and you approach the puzzle completely differently than when you would be alone. So anyone who has tried doing a 1,000-piece puzzle alone on time knows that it's not easy. You have to like figure out a lot of things, because just 1,000 pieces are a lot.
Exactly.
And then if you have four people for it, then if you just divide it, that's like 250 pieces per person. Which is then kind of a mini puzzle, but then you still have to like navigate who does what. It's a very good team building activity.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you mentioned, if we are talking about sports, for example, somehow it's a very good team building activity for the pairs and for the team categories, how they work together, how they can develop for a higher level, for example, if they can practice and they found everybody's strengths and weaknesses and develop these weaknesses, or to turn it to strengths.
Exactly. And they have 3 hours. And they have actually 3 hours to complete the two puzzles today. So we still have 2 hours to go. And in total, 100 teams that are participating now, if that is correct.
Exactly.
So we are still going to see a lot of teams finishing their puzzles. And they have, a little less than 2 hours to do so. So we're going to still see a lot of things happening. And another team finished. Congratulations. Bird is away. Frida is...
Bird is flying.
A bird is flying. And yes, opening the bag. It also seems like the atmosphere is a little bit different than in the previous round. Like people are more concentrated. That is also probably due to the difficulty of the puzzles, because in yesterday's rounds, the puzzles were just perfectly chosen for teams. I think those were all 8 of them very, very good choices for teams puzzles. In each round there was one that was tricky. That obviously almost no teams chose. So in the qualifying round A, there was one which was very similar to the Frida Kahlo puzzle in a sense that it was just full of everything. very, very characteristic, like characteristic characters, but dog
You mean
characters.
the dog walkers?
The dog walker.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a Dean Macadam puzzle.
it's-
It's very nice, but absolutely not for the competition.
Absolutely not for a team, but it's tricky. So
Yeah.
a less experienced team might actually be like, yeah, it's so colorful, it's going to be
It's
good.
so nice, but
Yeah, but then most teams didn't fall for that trick and they didn't choose that puzzle. But all the others, they were ideal team puzzles that you could divide into 4 pieces almost for the image so that everyone has something to work on. But with these, you actually have to strategize way more.
yeah, absolutely. It depends on the team. As you mentioned, if there is a professional team, even if they can sit down several times and practice, and I heard lots of teams who are participating here right now that yesterday was the first time they meet. And they sat down and then they could qualify themselves to the finals. So
Yes.
it's a very nice point. Yes, absolutely.
How many people signed up still like on the spot to participate in the competition? Do you have like a number or estimate?
I, I was not preparing for this question. From team, I know that we had 5 additional teams. From pairs, maybe 7 in the second pairs category, and maybe 2 or 3 in the first one, or no, 4. So 4 plus 7, it's 11 in the pair category, and in the individual, we didn't allow for the first round because it was very soon in the morning. But there were some, I would say 5-7 people in the second round, and for the third one there were lots of people because unfortunately there were some participants who couldn't arrive in time.
Yes.
And we tried to be so flexible as we could, and we allowed them to take part in the third round, so in Group C. So this means that more than 10 additional people could registrate or registrate from one to the other. So it could happen that somebody received a DNS sign in the first or the second round, which means that they didn't start the competition, but they could take part and we could reclassify them to the third one.
Yes.
So it was lots of additional tasks behind the scene.
Oh, yes.
But we tried to solve everything what we could.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it was challenging to get here for some people. Like, there were 2 Swiss participants whose flight was cancelled, like, as they were already at the airport, and they said that they're just not going to miss out on the competition. They're going to get here any way that they can, and they booked the train. And
they arrived for the third.
And they arrived literally about 20 minutes before the third round. So they literally just fell in for the competition. And then they actually made it into the final as well. I think both of them.
Yes,
so
exactly. Patrick
it worked out for
one
for
name,
them.
and I don't remember, unfortunately, the other. I met so many.
Anemi.
I met so many names, and you can imagine that the participants were already at the table, and we just finished with the table cards and the additional puzzles, and for the start everything was okay. So we were in a really big hurry to take possible for them also taking part in the competition.
Yes, and then there were just some people who like felt the atmosphere and they were like, "Ooh, I have to try this myself as well."
Yes, and honestly, if I can say some happenings for this team final as well, that as I mentioned, there were some extra registration in person for the team category, but also the judges, the helpers were classified to this team final. And this morning we realized that we miss 5 judges because they take part in the team final due to this additional registration. And you can imagine that it's really a big responsibility to have the enough number of the judges, not to miss anything what happens in the hall. So lots of points what we could solve absolutely in a few minutes, I would say, and to get people from Budapest who didn't want to come today to the competition, but now they are here because they want to help us, and we are really grateful for for their help as well.
And we can actually see some of Frida Kahlo already forming in the Czech team. Frida's, her coat is already there, the face is already there, and the chaos that is the flowers around it is also starting to take shape. They still have about, an hour and 45 minutes until the 3-hour time limit. So there's still a lot of time to go, but they're most probably not going to need that much. Yes. And while I'm looking at that, I could also refresh the results that I have here. And 33 teams have already finished. So under an hour and 15 minutes, 33 teams, I would probably say maybe 35 even. One third of the competitors are already done with the first puzzle, which is, yes, pretty cool because it's not an easy puzzle, as we have been saying that.
Exactly.
Yes, the parrot is already also taking place. It looks like those big yellow chunks could be sorted pretty well from the puzzle because they stand out a little bit. The flowers have like more black around, which are pretty much the same yellow as what the parrot's wings are, but the parrot's wings have more of the actual yellow in it, and they have the feathers, which is like a very recognizable pattern.
Yes, exactly.
While with the flowers, it's a little bit more chaotic. And here we have the EJJ squad, where the majority of the parrots are done, and it's mostly just the chaotic flowers left. They are definitely in the lead still.
Absolutely, and I would say that they are more advanced with this second puzzle than we could see some tables where the first puzzle, the bird, is not so good part than this one. So I would say that lots of teams are struggling with the first puzzle.
Yes. Well, it's not easy, and it also shouldn't be. It is the final of a European Championship, so it should be hard, I would say. Where else would you give the teams a difficult puzzle to solve than at a championship, which gives you a title? So yes.
And now I think it's really, we are much awaiting feedbacks about this fact that we gave the order of the two puzzles. Because I would say, looking at the two puzzles, for the first sight, I would choose the Frida Kahlo for the first one, because I can think that it's easier. It can happen, absolutely it depends on the quickness of the team, that how quick they are with this. But for the first sight, I would say it's easier. And for example, now that we gave the order and some teams are struggling with the bird, it can happen that they cannot finish even the bird. So from this point of view, it's worth thinking about whether it's a good direction to make it in a given order, or how to do it. Honestly, when we could see it from in the US National Championship this year, beginning of April, we found it a good strategy, because it could be a fair play with the teams. But absolutely it depends on the teams' capabilities, how quick they are with this mono color, I would say, because it could be really, really difficult. So we will see. We learn from everything, I would say.
Meanwhile, the EJJ squad has maybe about 150 pieces left. So I think they're definitely going to finish the puzzle in an hour, like in less than an hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We maybe have still about 10 minutes before our first finish. And then the Czech puzzle queens are very, very close behind them. So we're going to see how it unfolds. But I think the EJJ squad really has such a big advantage at this point that nobody can really overtake them. So from here on, they just have to keep puzzling. And I actually see like a very interesting fun fact that I didn't know, that today is Frida Kahlo's birthday.
Oh.
Was it intentional? I
No,
think not.
No, absolutely not.
So that,
So it's a coincidence.
that's a
absolutely.
lovely coincidence here. We actually didn't know about it. Yes, that's a new information. So it's Frida Kahlo's birthday today, and we get a Frida Kahlo puzzle, which is quite beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's something. No, I don't know how it expressed, but you know that sometimes you make a decision, you don't know the reason why, but something in the air, and you can get some feeling that you should choose this one.
Yes.
I'm just checking the.
And then I can see on the bottom left corner, it's actually pretty interesting with the mixed Swiss and German team. They have the puzzle sideways, which is also a kind of strategy that you can see with some teams from time to time, that they want to move the box in a way that the puzzle is going to be aligned on the table. So from wherever you stand, you see the same image, which is a neat little trick that can be very helpful to some people. And there was a question of whether you want to implement a 50-plus group like on the speed puzzle competitions. But I don't think that for a European Championship that is necessary, really.
I don't think either.
Because it is about, a European Championship.
Yeah. And it can happen that the number of participants wouldn't be so high. It depends, because sometimes you can never know that this person or that person, how old
And
they
done!
are.
They're done!
Oh my God.
An hour and 19 minutes and 30, I would say 37. They're done! The EJJ squad is European champions. And with that, also Kathi Reiner from Germany is pretty much a triple European champion now. With her in teams, in pairs with Chiara, and in teams now with Hannah and Victor. So the four of us are now European champions in team.
And we hope that Katarina has come with a big truck because of the prices.
I do know that she came by
over.
train, so she doesn't have a problem of having to get the puzzles into a suitcase.
It depends how big the suitcase is.
Yeah, but like, I mean, you know, for a flight that you
Okay.
have to fit it into a suitcase with a weight limit, that is,
Honestly, I don't know how it works with the train, so how many baggages you can have with you and how big ones.
well, yeah, she's going to have to figure out, because she's going to be getting a lot of prizes and puzzles.
Or one point that, as we were talking about, the half of the participants are Hungarians, and the other two nationalities with the biggest participant numbers are Polish and German people. So it can happen that some other German people came by car, they share the baggages, and it could be also a good solution.
Yes, well, at one point someone might have to come up with like a puzzle delivery system after speed puzzle competitions, because it's always a thing for people that fly to competitions, especially of like having to get home whatever puzzle they receive. It's sometimes even challenging to get the competition puzzles into your luggage. And the Czech puzzle queens are closing in as well. They still have maybe about 80 to 100 pieces. I'm trying to look at the gaps, but they're cracking it as well. So they are pretty much in the lead for second place, unless there are some teams that we are missing out on that are getting super close. It does seem like a very similar strategy so far for the leading. For the leading teams, that they go with a very similar strategy of going with Frida in the middle at first, then going for the parrots, and then kind of filling out everything. It might, because we haven't seen them working the entire time, there might have been someone doing just the edge, just by shape.
And maybe if you have the bigger part of the picture already, it's much easier to put the edges around it, so it's...
Yes, the Finnish team seems to have slowed down a little bit. They are trying to like figure out what is going on in the picture. It seems like there is a little bit of discussion going on. of what is happening. And then the Dutch team is just sorting very much. I think they have assigned colors to themselves. As we were talking to them yesterday, they were telling us that they have a designated sorter who is sitting on the top right on this camera angle now, and you can also see him just like trying to like spread out the pieces to everyone, but he also has his own color that he's working on from time to time, and then he's probably also just scanning whatever pieces are in front of him to like distribute it to whichever color is assigned to whom, which I think is a fun way to look at the puzzle as well. Maybe about 50 pieces left, 50, 60 pieces. Nah, that is way more. I'm always off with trying to guess how many pieces there are, so I'm not. Yeah, I try to avoid it most of the time to not make a fool of myself. But there's less and less pieces left. That I can say. Yeah. There's a monkey already formed and Frida in the middle. It actually looks very nice on just the board now.
Yes, exactly. Only this Frida. And we can write a happy birthday.
It's actually such a nice little coincidence. I'm very happy about it. And here we see the Hungarian team, Need for Speed. They're also closing in, but I don't think they can make up for the difference that is between them and the Czech team.
Yeah.
They have huge chunks done, and actually completely different way to go around the puzzle, because the edge is not done, I think, almost at all. Like the edge is mostly missing, but they are just working from like as like a starburst.
Yeah.
Like from like one image and like working out of there. And probably they're going to finish with the edge, because I can see it selected on the very top, like right before the image. And then also you can see like the distributed colors, like Metzi is working on the purple.
Purple one, yes.
And then yeah, the blue is selected onto the top. So it's always nice to see like how the work is distributed.
Yeah, absolutely. And what is their strategy? Because sometimes I feel and I can see that there is a huge chaos. And after that, in a few minutes, it's put together. So it's always amazing to see how they are working together exactly.
And we're almost at halftime. So we're at 1 hour and 25 minutes. And the teams have 3 hours to complete their puzzle. And we have over half of the teams already finished with the first puzzle. So it's 51 teams done. No, actually 52 already.
Yeah, already.
They are already working on their second puzzle, so half the teams are already working on the second puzzle, which is quite impressive as well.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
And
at the beginning, I wouldn't have thought that more than half of the participants will.
And we're going to wait with the interview before the Czechs are still going to finish, because we have about, I don't want to say how many pieces,
20,
but not that
30.
many. And we
20,
have
30
8 hands
roughly.
for all those not very many pieces anymore. So we're going to wait for the what looks like vice champions for the European Championship. And we're going to see. And then we're going to welcome our very first interview, which is going to be the European champion team. So yes, about 10 pieces left. And 3, 2, 1, and done. Congratulations to the vice champion team. Well done. To the Czech puzzle teams. Amazing work. Under 1 hour and 30 minutes, just over 1 hour and 26 minutes. And it looks like third place might be the Hungarian team, Need for Speed, but we're going to have to take a look around the room to see who is going to be the next one. But in the meantime, we're going to welcome the EJJ squad. And they're going to get themselves settled. They are already pretty familiar with this setup. And yes, bringing some chairs in just to make some space. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Chiara. Hi, EJJ squad. You're going to have to scoot in more, because I don't think you're going to be visible on the camera. We can also just like move around a little bit. Yep. With all the chairs. Yeah. Hi. Congratulations.
Hi.
It was pretty incredible. How did you do this?
I think we sorted.
Yeah.
The sort was really good.
Were you really the shape sorter? Did we see correctly?
Yeah, I was in the first puzzle, yeah.
And then for the second puzzle, were you still sorting?
Yes, most of the time I was just sorting, yeah.
Okay, then I think the way that we're going to go around this is just tell us like what you did, how you felt when the puzzle was revealed, yeah, what your thoughts were.
Maybe Hannah, you start?
I had been thinking about buying this puzzle, but I was afraid of the white background, so I never bought it.
Then good thing you did it.
Yeah. Kati started with the green part. You can tell how it felt like.
Bad.
So just the green as in like just the wing or just like anything that was green?
All of the green, because it was hard to tell it apart, and it was like, well, there's not many of the non-wing greens, so I will give you that too. I think you did that before.
Yeah,
right?
and the top greens were easy, but then the wing was just horrible.
I started with the pink part, and that was all right.
And I did the edge.
Yeah, and I sorted. Up until almost the end when Victor came and like relieved me from that. And finally I put in some pieces and it was like, oh, actually this feels better. I was missing puzzling.
Now,
Chiara pushed me out of the sorting because my sort is so bad.
okay.
Yeah, you know, she did I will pick the light pink, and then she picked half of this and some of this, but like not all of the light pink and not all of the top. And I was like, Hannah, enough. I will do it for you.
You stop it now.
Yes, you go do that section and I
Yes.
will give you stuff.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so it was pretty much the same strategy for each team. So that there was no real difference. But then how do you think you actually managed to be so much quicker than everybody else?
I think for the first puzzle it was the micro sort of the background. It really helped a lot. I could, when we swapped with Chiara, it was already, I think, only the background left. So I just took the background and I sorted it into 3 different piles. And also then we did for the last 2 sections, we did the shape sort, and it was really, really fast.
Yeah, they're great sorters. He was just feeding pieces, and these go there, and they really go there.
Ooh, that is actually so very comfortable to have. Because then you really don't have to pay attention to anything else apart from being super fast.
Yeah.
How much do you chat or communicate during the entire...
A lot, but sometimes Chiara has to tell to Hannah that she's not talking to her. Don't respond.
Yeah, Hannah gets so distracted. So Victor and I chat a lot with each other, especially when we are sorting, and like it's like, okay, I will do this tiny thing while we continue sorting, and then let's alternate, and like what do we do next, etc. And Hannah is like there working on her edge, and she keeps getting distracted. She thinks we are talking to her, giving the pieces to her, and it's like, it's not you, like stay on your own. And Kati, I think, just closes her ears.
I'm just in my own world.
you just puzzle. And then, Kati, how is it to be a triple European champion?
It feels super great.
Did you still celebrate last night, all of you?
Yeah, like it took me way too long to get to the city center to the others, but in the end I was there. We
Oh,
had
wait.
dinner together.
I don't want to break it down, but I think third place is finishing now.
Need for Speed.
Need for Speed
Yeah.
they only have like a couple of pieces left, but it's kind of all over the place. But it's kind of cool that they have like all of them in the middle and just working out from there, like they can just like slide it.
We finished with the light blue.
So the same as mostly the same, but we had a small tray there with the pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think they are doing the leaves as well, that we also had till the very end. Yeah. We sorted them pretty early on, but we decided to not do them.
Yeah, we will move on to like this puzzle very, very soon. Once I put this away. We just wait for them to finish, and then we actually will have a podium for the European Championship. It's just about 4 or 5 pieces. It's hard to tell when the pieces are on the puzzle. It's like they are trying to trick the live stream. And done. Third place for Hungary. And Chiara, you're doing very professional microphone handling.
Well, I tried to keep it away from Hannah's clapping.
Yes, so we have a podium. And yes, so pretty much this was just sort. And then how was Frida?
Also sort.
How is it different to sort this one compared to the other one?
Well, this one was easier to sort.
Yes, I agree. As the person who sorted them both, I agree. Frida was easier.
And the other one we also shape sorted in the end. And this we didn't.
Yes. Is it easy, because like when you just see the picture it's hard to tell because you don't see the pieces themselves, but is it easy to tell apart like which thing is where?
Mostly, yes. So, like, it was easy. We sorted out Frida for Kati, not the whole dress here, because that was hard to tell, like the colorful bits of here. Apart from the orange, because like as I started, like we gave her this, and then I started sorting the butterfly, and then it was like, oh, there's only 5 orange pieces. What are those? Oh, dress. And then I think things revealed themselves as we sort. Like I didn't see the monkey on the image, but there was brown, and then I will collect the brown, and I turned around, like, does it make sense? Oh, there's a monkey. Okay. And same, like we sorted out like the feathers of the the parrots here, but like you don't see it at the beginning, but like as soon as we had half of the pile of yellow, Victor notices that actually I can tell which one is this part and which one is this, even if they are both yellow. Oh, thank you for
Yes.
the image on the screen.
We have been Googling.
The one part that was hard, I think, was making the butterflies, because there's 2 orange butterflies, one on the bottom and one on top, and we didn't realize that. So I started working on that. That's the first thing that I started doing while we were, like, taking a break from sorting, and I was like, it doesn't work. And then I gave it to Victor, and I think you had the same issues as me.
Yeah, the same issue, and then I noticed there are 2 of them, and I was like, I don't want to do that. And in the third attempt, it went well.
Even for us, just like looking at the image, like casually and talking about it, we didn't notice that there was a second butterfly. I think for like until we have been talking about the puzzle for like 10 minutes. So it's a hidden butterfly. But yeah, it did seem like it is quite easy to sort out like the parrot's wings, because they stand out very much. But it's still like when you just look at like the stream, it seems like the colors are pretty much the same everywhere. So it was hard to tell like how easy it is to move the elements around.
I think it's okay, because it's one of those, yes, like lots of the flowers repeat, but you can still sort out it's these 3, you do these 3, and then you place them in. Or like you know that you're working on these 3 spots, and you just go and look at it. And it's the same for most of it. And there's enough unique elements that like it gives you something to work off of. Because like the rose is a single like dark red rose. The flowers up here are unique. Like the parrots and the monkey and the butterflies, like there's enough stuff going around that like it was actually easy. I expected it to be harder at the beginning. I thought there was more repeating things until we saw the rest of the animals and stuff.
Yeah, and also apart from sorting, I also was doing something. It was doing the flowers, but I think this kind of puzzle is like very good for me, because I have those 3 sections that are in the same color, and I can just jump around. If I don't have one section, it's much better for me. So I work on the flowers.
And I think it's the exact opposite for me, because I hate having multiple sections, but they just put me on the person in the middle and the monkey, and I had my own bigger sections, and that was perfect.
Well, we know you. We wanted to help.
Yeah, and I got to do the edges on this one, because Victor didn't want to
cool.
do the edges, so I was very happy there.
And actually, it's also hard to tell from the picture. The edge is just one line of pieces, so it doesn't really cover more, right?
In some parts, in the upper part, also another row is connected to the orange part, so that was good. But the background is not patterned in the puzzle; it's solid.
Is it?
Yeah, it's different from the box.
Oh, I
image.
didn't notice that.
It is, so it is outside. Oh, she said it at some point, and I was like, I don't care. But like outside, it has the pattern. Inside the frame, it doesn't.
Okay, interesting. That actually might be the reason why it was different on the live stream as well, when I saw the guys put it up, because there also the background doesn't have a pattern. That's interesting.
Oh.
Okay, cool. What do you think of the puzzle choices for the final? Do you think it was like challenging enough for a final?
Yeah, I think it was challenging enough to differentiate the levels of teams, but also easy enough to be able to compete in reasonable time.
Yes.
And what do you think about this solution that we gave the order? That everybody should start one puzzle and...
I can give you the answer. No, you can. Okay, so I agree with with Chiara that I like the approach, because it was also done like that in US, and this is really good.
So they know. You know the history of this
I think
decision.
so too, because we just do whatever we get. there's no guessing which is better to start with. So I prefer it this way.
You don't have to think about it. That makes it less
Yeah.
stressful.
Good to know. Good
Okay.
to know.
And also, I think it's better for like organizing, right? Because you don't have this mashup of different teams stopping in different times with different puzzles. So if it's more structured, at least I would imagine that can be an issue if it's not like pre-assembled.
Okay, thank you for the feedback because we got this idea from the US Nationals, so we wanted to try it. And that's why we need the feedback. Thank
Yeah,
you.
so hopefully it's going to be picked up in other competitions as well. Because it, yay! Congratulations. I actually want to take a look. It is a German team, yes. It's, I think Pixel Perfect is their name. So far we have four
It's not so,
finishers.
yeah, it's not so quick to get the results already in the website.
Yes, of course.
It needs some small time, but
Yes, and then the Polish team seems to be up next at the moment.
I wouldn't yet.
And did you know that Frida Kahlo has her birthday today?
Oh, sorry.
Today
Oh no.
And we didn't know.
We also didn't know. We found out from the YouTube chat.
Yes.
But it is like the funniest coincidence that we have found out about
Me-
today, that it's actually Frida's
Yeah.
birthday.
Maybe this is the reason why Ravensburger distributed this
Could be.
picture. And you know that I just mentioned in the live stream that we received a limited number of possibilities, the opportunities, what we can choose for this competition from an unpublished version. And this was in this portfolio, I would say. So, but good to know that today is her birthday.
That's so nice.
Do you still have anything planned for after the competition? So are you traveling home right after, or do you still have any plans to like hang out and maybe puzzle?
We're gonna meet up Worlds next. I'm going home today.
Okay.
Yeah, going home, most of us. Apart
Yeah.
from Kadi is leaving tomorrow morning, but
And then until then, you're also not going to meet anymore for training.
well, Victor, Kadi, and I are gonna meet in Hove for the solo marathon in August. But there's no Hannah, so we are not gonna train. Also, we have enough hours of puzzling already.
Yes, for those who don't know, Kati is organizing a solo marathon, which is, oh, correct me if I'm wrong, 10 hours. And how many puzzles are there for completing? 14. Also ranging from, I think, 500 to 1,000. And how many participants do you have?
30.
30.
Because I didn't have more space in the venue.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting. It also sounds very, very hardcore.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that was the idea behind it. Hardcore.
Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. And congratulations to all of you. You did incredible. And yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you at Worlds.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a look again. So we have our first 4 places. So first place was the EJJ Squad. Second place was the Czech Puzzle Queens. Third place was Need for Speed from Hungary. And fourth place is Pixel Perfect from Germany. And yes, it looks like the Polish team might be closest to finishing the puzzle, but it's really hard to tell with so many people and so many arms above the puzzle. The Swiss-German mixed team also looks like they are doing incredibly well, and they might actually have a little bit less pieces, but I can't exactly see if they have more pieces hidden somewhere around the puzzle, but they are closing in very, very much. And then Piece Tagoras on the bottom right from Germany is also just closing up the gaps. We also see pretty much the same strategy at every single
Yes.
table. So Frida Kahlo forms pretty much very first, and then yeah, those elements that we have heard from the EJJ squad already. Yes, and then the Austrian competitors are also covering up most of their puzzles, so I can't exactly see what is going on, but they don't have very much left. So at the moment they seem to be neck to neck. But not close enough to be like overtaking the 2 teams on the left, I would say. So it's between Poland and Switzerland, Germany at this point for place for place 5. And I think the first 5 places get a trophy at the competition.
First 6.
They actually get the first 6 places. So this is very exciting. I'm like,
Absolutely.
who is still going to get to be on the podium?
And I'm just wondering on this question what just came a few minutes before about the mixed nationalities, because now you could see the mixed team, the EJJ, Euro Jigsaw Jam, so they are mixed nationalities, and because they are part of this community, I would say, this EJJ, they are very much taking their time mostly with puzzling.
Yes, and they are also super close friends. Like, we know that
Yeah.
from behind the scenes. And they are, well, basically from 3 different countries, but on paper they are from 4 different countries, because Victor is from Poland, Chiara is from Italy, but lives in Germany.
Oh.
And Kati is from Germany and Hanna is from Finland. And for example, Kati and Chiara, when they were competing at the German nationals, they were counted as an international pair, so they couldn't compete for the national championship. And the Swiss team is done.
And I am very happy.
Amazing performance.
I am very happy if you look at the results that the different teams are from different nationalities. If you look at just the flags.
Yes, for now we see different flags for each placement. And yes, they did incredible here. And the Polish team is very, very close behind them. They maybe have about, I would say, 20 pieces left.
I thought that they would be the fifth place.
For a while,
yes.
it looked
Yes.
like that. But then the Swiss-German team, I actually have to, the almost perfect dream team.
Same team.
They somehow pulled ahead. I think it's because the Polish are working on the edge, which is like all around the puzzle again, and then they were
needs
working
more
on
time.
just spots.
Yes.
So that actually gives you like a big advantage. But it's only like a couple of pieces left, and then the edge is done, and then we have our next finisher. And yes, 5th place goes to the almost perfect dream team, which is a mixed team again from Germany and Switzerland.
Switzerland, yeah.
And done. 6th place for Poland.
Perfect fit.
Perfect fit. Also some top puzzlers in there. All of them have placed incredibly well in the individual final as well. And here we see the team from Slovakia. We come in pieces. And also they have a very young competitor in the
yes.
team who is doing an incredible job. She has been puzzling along really, really nicely with everyone.
It's good to see always the next generation of puzzling, and they are amazing. They are so talented at
Yes.
this young age.
Yes, that I really think at one point there has to also be like a child category or like a separate competition for children. Not in some countries we already see that happening. I know that in Spain there's a lot of competitions for children as well.
Yeah.
I think the finish line is done.
Line, yeah.
They have crossed the finish line, and
Exactly.
then we can play on the pun. But yes, place 7 goes to the finish line. And yes, so in Spain, I know that they do that with like a smaller piece count for children. I think it's either 200 or maybe 300 pieces, depending on like the competition. And also in Germany recently, they had a competition for children. So it is picking up slowly. I'm not sure like how it can be like implemented into like a European Championship, for example. If they would do like the same puzzle, they just get like a different classification. So they are not, they don't get the results together with the adults, but they do the same puzzle to like make organization maybe a little bit easier. But yes, that's something to be figured out like in the next European Championships or next competitions that are coming up. It's still such a new sport.
Absolutely. I'm just wondering whether in Spain it maybe has a longer history of this tradition that also young people can, or young kids can take part on championships. I wouldn't say that, for example, in Hungary there would be so many participants. On European wide, it's a good question. So how many kids could take part in this kind of competition. And you mentioned that in Germany there is a kid category, and maybe there are some elder age as well. So it is somehow separated that kids, the biggest part of the competitors, and also there is a higher age category. Yeah.
It could be, yes. But yeah, thank you, Michelle, for for being like our encyclopedia of puzzlers around Europe. Yeah, the young person on the Slovakian team is Team EJJ, and she's 12 years old, and she's actually also regularly participating in the Euro Jigsaw Jam. But she has also been on this team at Worlds, and yeah, so she's not an inexperienced puzzler either. And Pistagoras is very close to finishing as well, the team from Germany. So just a couple of pieces left, which are also like all around the puzzle. It's all just that chaos that needs to be figured out, like circling Frida at every time. But just a couple of pieces left. Almost. It seems like a piece is missing.
Oh.
And it's, or no. There it is. Done.
It's always tricky if one or some few pieces are missing. Anyway, from this point of view, maybe lots of participants know that on the World Championship there is a penalty if there is a missing piece. Honestly, we don't like this rule because it can be even the manufacturer's mistake, not the participant's mistake. Of course, it can happen that it's somewhere on the floor, but if you cannot find it, it's not anywhere around you. It's not your mistake. So
there was that very memorable issue. I think it was 2023 at the World Championship, where Kristin was actually missing, I think, at least 6 or 7 pieces, which was like clearly manufacturing issues.
Absolutely.
Because it was connected pieces that were missing. And yeah, she, I think, had to take like at least almost a minute penalty because of the missing pieces, which still didn't take away the win for her for that round, I think. But yes,
it can count a lot if some participants are very close to each other.
It can make a big difference. And the Slovakian team is done, and they have done incredible. And Austria also. Now we had like a lot of finishers in just 1 minute. And then now we actually have an interview lined up. If you want, you can already join us. We're going to have to do a little bit of logistics. And we are going to just take a look at the Dutch team while they are getting settled. There's only going to be one microphone that you're going to have to move around. Like, you already know the drill. So yes, which one of you wants to, like, you can also just hold it in front of you to talk, and then you can just move it around whenever somebody wants to say something. So welcome to the Czech puzzle teams, puzzle queens. I'm so sorry. Yes, congratulations. You did so amazing. You're going to have to move the microphone closer to your mouth when you speak. What did you think of the puzzles?
It was hard. However, we did like it. Yeah.
Even a little more close.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, like that. Yes. How did you tackle like the first one with the bird? It was, I guess, a lot of sorting.
Yes.
Like at one point we have seen you using like the boards. Do you actually like purposefully have like black boards, or is that like something intentional?
Yes, we do have a purposely black board. For the white, it is really good. You can see the white pieces a lot better than on the whiteboard. Yeah.
And what we have also seen on the live stream is that you also like organize the pieces in like rows to have it very organized. Like, is that something you always do when you shape sort? Like, does it help you to be quicker?
Yes, it does. Sorry.
Yes, and yes, pretty much like, what do you think of the puzzle selection?
Thank you. Yeah, it was hard. Yeah. we did think it was hard.
But for teams competition, it's ideal. I think that it's not much easiest. So it's good. It's hard for team competition, not for pairs,
Not for
for solo, but for teams is okay. I think.
Yeah, it was still doable, like what we have heard from others as well, that it's like it's challenging enough for those that are like fast like you, but it's also doable for those that are not as fast.
Yes.
And then what Marian has been saying as well, which is like kind of new, based on like the USA system, is that you had like a set order. Do you think that's good or bad, and why?
I do think it's good. So you know where are you when you finish the first puzzle. You know if you are first or second or fifth, and if it's in the other order. So if you puzzle first, you don't know actually how fast is the second one.
And then
So you liked it.
Yeah.
yes, and then there's actually one thing that is like a nice story, which involves you, Teresa, from yesterday, from the individual final. There was something with the results that we actually wanted to mention on the live stream as well. I think Marian can actually tell it better because I was here, but I only saw it on the live stream. So can you tell like what story
Yeah,
involved
so-
Teresa from yesterday's final?
Yeah. So the story was that there were a few participants who know very well, and we knew that these people would be in the first 6, 8, 10 positions in the ranking. And when we had the results, we could see that Teresa was on the 5th place based on the time what was written on the timesheet, and Christian on the 6th place, but the difference was only 1 second. And in this case, because the first 6 places are awarded, and it's very important to be fair. And what we did immediately, that we have a board member who is very good in IT point of view, so check the live, that what we can see exactly. And in the live stream, it was absolutely obvious that Christian raised his hands, and at the same time, Teresa put the last piece into this place. And we analyzed it, and we asked the two person to come here to check the video, and they aligned, they were agreed, and for us it was very good feeling and very warm, heartily, that you hugged together and you congratulate to each other. So that's why I really like the puzzling community, because these celebrities, I would say, and I can say, they love each other.
Yeah, it's also a very good example. And and the addition to the story is that the results already went out on the website,
Yes.
I think. So it had to be changed, but they didn't want to change it without like actually like being fair, discussing it and everything. So that was one very nice example of sportsmanship.
I liked it very much that you did it for us, that I could watch it on the TV, and I saw it that he was faster than me, and it's absolutely great and good job. Thank you.
And you know that we always say that the results are not official till they are finalized, and this was just because it was in the first few positions in the ranking, and it was very important to solve as soon as we can, and that's why, of course, the results were put into the system so everybody could see. And also I'm happy that you have the screenshot about this 5th place. However, the final position is the 6th one. But of course, in this case, we have to make the right decision and involve everybody.
Yes.
This.
So I think that is like a very good example of sportsmanship, and it's also very important. Like top competitors, like you and everyone, like shows this kind of behavior in general, because it's a good example for everyone, and I think it also influences like how the puzzle competitions are going to be working in the future. So that was one very nice thing. So I'm very glad that you actually joined us for an interview, so we could like talk about this a little. Yes. What are your plans still? Will you be practicing before the Worlds?
Yeah, we have to.
So
Obviously, we want to be first, so we have to practice more.
oh yes. It is easier for you to get together and practice, though. Is that correct? Like,
Yeah, we do live in the same country, so we it is easier.
It's an advantage, absolutely.
yes.
However, we don't live in the same city. So
Is it like, yeah, I know that the Czech Republic is also like relatively the same size as Hungary. Like, is it on the very much the edges, so you have to travel a lot?
I think it's a 3-hour drive for us.
Yeah, so it takes some organization. Yes, and then actually it's just like a random question. Do you actually spend time together outside of puzzling? Like, do you get together apart from doing puzzles?
Not really. If we are together, we puzzle. So
Yeah, that's also something that whenever you get together, you
Yes.
get the chance. Yes, you did amazing today. It's a really, really great result, and you have all been pretty stellar in the competition itself as well. So, like, congratulations to everything. Thank you for coming over for an interview. I know it's not easy to speak in front of the camera all the time, especially if you're not super comfortable about your English. So, thank you very much for coming over. We really appreciate it because it's good to talk to you. And congratulations.
thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much and congratulations.
And we are going to take a look at the competition again. And yes, we're trying to catch up a little bit on what is happening in the screen right now. We have 15 finishers so far, and we're hitting the 2-hour mark. So it does show a little bit that these puzzles are challenging as compared to the previous round, where we had way more finishers at 2 hours. So these puzzles are a challenge for the finals of a European Championship, which is not surprising. And some people, we can see here that there's very different boards being used, and that's also something that I was talking about with the Czech girls here, of how they use a blackboard just to see, for example, the white piece is better on the bird's background. It's not easy to see the white pieces on the white table, I think.
Absolutely not. And for example, when we practice for the last year World Championship with the Hungarian team, we usually use this normal cartoon, which is brown, I would say. And I wouldn't say that there are so many puzzles which are brown.
Oh yeah, that cardboard background.
The cardboard background, yes, absolutely. And I would say that it's good for all the colors.
And yes, that is actually quite nice. I personally puzzle on like a wooden surface, so I'm used to having brown, which is like, yeah, different from like most of the puzzles. Most puzzles don't have like a dominant brown color. But yes, here a lot of the teams come prepared as well. Like you can see that the Swedish team, Dutchies are done in the meantime. Congratulations. And the Swedish team is using a black board for probably that reason.
Yeah.
For the future, it actually might be a good idea for organizers to tell people what the surface is going to be like for tables. But that it just popped into my head that it might be a practical thing to have information of like whether you're going to have a white table or if you're going to be having a black table, for example, so that you can prepare on what boards you're going to be using. And we have another interview lined up. We now have a Hungarian team and a little mascot. Yes.
And another one.
Hi. Hello, Vicky. And the entire team. I think you're going to need to introduce yourself a little bit because you haven't been on the live stream so far. Laura has been already, so Laura we know. But yes, I would say just hand around the microphone real quick so that you can like introduce yourself.
Okay. Hi, I am Betty.
Hello, I'm Kata. Hi, I'm Laura.
Yes. How did you find the competition? How was the team?
Hi, I'm Vicky.
How was the competition?
It was really great, but the pictures were really
beautiful and challenging. Yeah, they didn't really fit our style.
I would have said that one of them fits your style.
The second one?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have guessed that as well, but I don't know. We were at 30 or 40 minutes when there were a bunch of pieces. We didn't know where they go because we didn't find the light blue background-ish on it, and that was the time when we realized that the picture doesn't match the box. So that was the time when I decided that it's not really my type.
Now that was actually one thing that we also only noticed when we started talking to people, because yeah, the live stream crew has actually found the pictures on Google to like place it on the stream, and there the picture looked different than what we saw on the box. And I only just noticed it but didn't really talk about it because I was like, yeah, it's probably from like Google whatever image, and then it turns out that the background is actually not colorful.
Yeah, and it wasn't an issue for the border because we just followed the lines and we didn't realize that.
But then other than this challenge, like how did you feel about doing these puzzles? How did you tackle the two images?
I think we did really great, despite of the images. The first one, when we realized that it's a portrait, then it was a little chaos, but not so much. We tried to build the bird first, but I guess it's the same for every team. The background was really challenging because we had these pinkish shades almost everywhere, but if you look at the picture, it's not really the case, but with the bunch of pieces, it has a little pink, so it goes there, and we then just realized that no, it will be on the bottom, not on the top. So yeah, it was really challenging.
Okay, but then you fought your way through it, and then...
Yes, almost an hour, I guess. It was 50 something.
And then you moved on to the second one, and how was that?
It was horizontal. It was a good point after the first one. We started with sorting, tried to build up the edges, but we gave up in the middle and move on to the next sections. Sorted by colors, but it wasn't so easy because you have many of the same colors. Yes, and they are almost exactly in the same direction as well, so you couldn't really count on that one. Yeah, the light blue flowers were pretty challenging. I guess maybe 3 of us was working on it because we just gave up and move on to the next section. So yeah, but the graphics of it was really cool.
We have actually only found out from the YouTube comments that it's actually Frida Kahlo's birthday today. And that was a complete coincidence that this puzzle was chosen for it, but it's just like a charming little detail.
Yeah, I guess we didn't know that one.
And we are just over 2 hours, and we have at the moment 24 teams that have finished both puzzles. So there's still an hour to go, and there's a lot of teams working on their second puzzle already. There's 81 teams that have finished the first puzzle, but that includes those as well who have already finished the second as well. So there's still about 20 teams working on their first puzzle, which is understandable because it's super challenging. It's a big white background on a white table, so that's hard to make out. And if you're not used to tackling that, that can be like a big challenge.
Yeah, we had luck with that because we have trays which are dark, some kind of blackish. So we just sorted those pieces on that, and we could work from them.
Yes, that is very beneficial. Like a lot of teams came prepared and they had dark boards, and I think a lot of people can actually flip it and have like a light and dark shaded tray. How was the experience of the entire competition so far? Hand over the microphone to someone who hasn't spoken yet.
So I think we are very very sleepy already.
You have also worked as a volunteer at the competition, is that correct?
Yep, sure. And I try to help as much as I can. It was very good to be on the front and the back side too. And I think the pictures was incredible. Such difficult, but it is very good for the level of the people. And that's mean for me who is the best in this picture, because it's a very good picture, a lot of difficult parts of this picture, and if you are very good in the puzzling, that means it's not depend on the picture. So I think it's very good to measure how good are you in this.
Yes,
So,
it is a very good point that you made, that whoever is like the way to tell who is the best is the people that are best on any kind of picture.
Yeah.
And for that, that is a really very good point, that these puzzles like tested both kind of skills.
Yeah. And I think it's we find an easy picture that will be easy for everybody, and you are not able to measure because in 1 second so much people finished. And
Yes.
okay, who is better?
Yes. Yeah, there is like an up and a downside to like a fast and easy image,
Yeah.
because like it's exciting to watch.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you know, it's like Formula One. Have like people just like coming in, and it's exciting, but then it's, yeah, like you were saying, it's just hard to like keep track, and it's also just like seconds difference. But with these ones, there can be a big difference, and there is a bigger difference between the teams.
Yeah, and yesterday when was single, we just see sometime it was 1 second, so incredible.
Yes, the competition was very close.
Yeah, and so quick. Okay, watch where will be the next one. Okay, 10 in same level. Who will be the better? Okay, and just run with paper and okay, write the number. How it's okay time.
Yeah, that would have been my next question. How was it to be a judge at the competition?
I was on that part too, so good. No, I think it's very good. They go and not disturb the people who is playing, but be there and check. Okay, it's good. Okay, everything is good. Okay, say for the people who make the video or take the pictures. Okay, come. It will be in time. So it's. I think everything goes fluently, so it's very good.
Yes. No, it's also nice to like hear behind the scenes a little bit. And I actually want to ask Laura something. So you're going to have to take the headphones as well. You have to tell us about the mascots and move the microphone a little bit more to your mouth. Yeah. Yes, tell us about the mascots.
This little koala was made by myself, by me.
Ooh.
I just did that. I made that last year, so that's my favorite mascot I have. And that's just for the stress. I would say it's just easy to.
It's a stress capybara.
Vegan, yeah.
Yeah. And have you been using him at all before the competition?
No, it was my first time to bring this in the competition, but it helps. So yeah, I will continue with that.
It looks like it, especially because you also got. I think he was also there for the individual final.
Yeah. It helped me a lot.
Yes, it looks like it because you got an incredible result there as well. You were super fast.
Yeah.
And yes, how was the team for you?
Hard.
Hard.
Really hard, especially that puzzle with the bird. It was really whitish on the background. It was just a mess. Like the lower part with the wordings, it was a total disaster for me. But the bird itself.
But anyway, you like the one color.
Yeah. I like that pieces where there's only one color, so it's not a problem for me. But especially this one was really hard. So I don't really know.
Well, you made it work. The puzzle is finished, and that's a very happy koala on the table. Kata, would you still like to talk about anything?
Hi.
Hello, hello.
I only want to say that probably most of us are dead tired now, but thank you for organizing this because it was amazing to be here. And I really don't want to cry.
Then I'm going to stop you there, and we're going to give you a hug out of camera very soon.
Yeah, because we just go home and sleep. It was very good, but we are tired.
Yes. Well, there has been a lot of work going into the event. I think I can say that for the organizers, especially because I don't think you have slept very much.
Not really.
Like especially like when did like really the organization like come together so much that you could like barely decide what to start doing?
But you cannot imagine that you want to sleep because you are so tired that you cannot survive.
Yeah.
But you cannot sleep because your brain is working.
Yes, it was the same for probably most of the competitions or competitors. Yeah. But I also have spoken with the staff around, and reflecting back that you are doing a great job. It is it's such an appreciation that you are checking all the little details, and it's just great. Yeah.
Yes. And maybe one last question.
Yeah.
How did you like that we set the order of the two puzzles? So first bird, second.
I think it was good. The first one we first thought that it's gonna be a food stuff or something like that, but then it turned out that it's nowhere near to be a food. It's even better. I like this one, but not for a competition. But the second one was very refreshing because the first one is having a pastel colors or pale colors, and the right bottom corner is just terrible. I think most of us try to do that, but eventually I don't know. Maybe Vicky completed that part. That is very hard. And after that, opening the second box, and it was like, intense color, and it was refreshing, really. Okay. But then you realize that you have yellow in 5 or 6 spots, and you have red, and you are feeling that you are doomed. So that's gonna be hard as well.
That is a harsh way to put it, of like being doomed.
Yeah, but actually this is what you're feeling when you are you know as well, because you are competing as well. So it is also mentally hard to keep up the
energy level.
The energy level that it doesn't matter even if it's impossible for you, but you have members in the team, other members in the team that they are very good at this. You need to say it at time that guys, I'm stuck, please help me, let's change. And it's just really a teamwork. All the things in the teams depend on the teamwork and how they are communicating. So. And we nailed it. Eventually, when I checked the time, what was our time, my team's time, it looks like that it's bad, but eventually it is great. So it's just amazing.
Yes, that is such a beautiful way to describe a team. You prefer the team competition, or are you more a solo competitor?
I really hate to do the individuals because you are alone there. That's mentally. For me, it's terrifying, to be honest, and I'm so weared out or wore out at the end. The pairs are great. You have someone to release the stress, making jokes, but with the team is like an up and down, because someone is all the time down, and the others need to cheer it up, or we are bothering each other. You are in a way, and then it's all the time is up and down, up and down. But eventually, the time what you spend with completing two boxes, that's just the times fly away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, time flies when you are having a good time.
Yeah,
and a good team.
And a good
team. Yeah, it also influences a lot of like having the right team members who
great.
like match in personality as well, that you can get along with, and
Yeah.
it looks like you do because I have seen you puzzle together before.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for coming over for an interview. It was great to chat with you. I hope we will also still get to chat outside of the camera just like a couple of times because yeah, we barely had any chance to do that. And then yes, see you later. Congratulations.
Thank you, Alex. Congratulations.
You guys, and thanks for organizing.
And we are back to the competition. We are just over 2 hours and 18 minutes, nearing 2 hours and 20 minutes. So there's about 40 minutes left of the competition, a little over. And we have 30 teams that have finished both puzzles and about 88 people or 88 teams have finished their first puzzle. So about 50 have finished their first puzzle and are working on the second one. And then there's still some teams that are working on the bird. So there's still 40 minutes to finish that puzzle. And yes, we're going to be here to watch. And we have another team lined up for an interview. There is just one microphone, so there's a little bit of like logistics involved in how you get yourself seated. So yes, just get comfortable. Not all of you can speak at the same time. You're going to hand the microphone around, and it has to be like close to your mouth. So whoever wants to speak first can just lift the camera to their mouth. A little higher. Hello.
Hello.
Please introduce yourself a little bit. Speak about your team and your team members.
Okay, we are a French team. We are the croissant solvers.
Allez les bleus.
Yes. And we are mostly from the northwest of France, different places. She's from near Paris. I'm from Rennes in Brittany. C'est Château? Poitiers. Poitiers is in the middle west. And Tours. It's just near the Château de la Loire.
Oh yeah. And for those who are not very familiar with like France in general or like French geography, how easy is it? Do you ever get to practice together?
Just once. They all come to my home and we practice together.
So how many puzzles have you done together until now?
8. So I think 8. 1,000 pieces. And after that, we practice in pair because we were also participating in pair.
And what did you think of the puzzles? How was it?
Not all kind of puzzle. she hated it. Yeah, she loves gradient and sky. So it's definitely not her type.
Yeah, there was not much of that today.
Okay, Mia was mostly sorting pieces, and for the second one, I spent all my time sorting, and after ending all the borders and placing at the end some pieces.
Yes, and then for the second one?
I was a sorter of the team, so I sorted.
Yes. What did you think of how the finals was set with the rules, that you had to do this one first and you didn't know the second one until you opened the bag?
For us, I think it was fine. We don't have to make a choice. That's okay. We are going to do the both, so let's go.
Would you like to say something?
Vas-y.
I liked it better when there is only 2 puzzles because when there are 4 puzzles, we usually choose the easiest, and some are really cool to do, but we don't get them because we know we are not going to be quick. So it's better to have to do something and see if we are doing it good.
So you mean that it's easier to compare the teams because they all have to do the same thing?
Yes, also.
Yes, it also feels fair in that sense. Yes. Did you? Yeah. In general, how was the competition for you?
Great. I didn't know what to expect, but honestly, it went really well for everyone in our team. The French team in general, we are well placed. Like the group just next to us is also French, and they are our friends, so we are only 11 seconds apart.
Oh, that's also really fun that you can like laugh together about it afterwards.
Yeah.
Yes, and how many French competitors were there at the competition? Have you been getting together at all?
We were like 20, around 20, but we all together like friends. We know like 15, so it was really cool to do that all together.
Yes. Do you have like a group picture of like all French competitors?
Yeah, we took it yesterday before the final of individual.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, are you still like planning to stay longer, or are you traveling home very soon?
I'm the only one of the team who are staying for some days in Budapest, but Edmond was staying before Budapest to visit the city.
Yes.
But the other one have to go back to France because of their work.
Yeah, you have like a set number of holidays that you have to like plan with that. Are you also going to Worlds as a team?
No, I'm not going to the World. All those three others are going to the World, but I don't know. They are not in the same team.
So this was like a special team created for this competition.
Yes.
Yeah, but then it worked out pretty well. Are you satisfied with your time of like how you did?
Oh,
not just of the team, but like just in general of like the entire
competition. I was
competition.
delighted. I didn't expect anything because usually I'm not bad, but not good enough to be on the top, except in very small competition with Marian. But like when I do some EJJ, I'm around 60 or so. I didn't expect anything, and I was very delighted to be in final. That's enough. Really good for me, and I even did my personal best. So it was fun, and for the Podium team, I'm very happy.
Then it was very much worth it to come here, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you still plan to compete together at any point of like maybe at a French competition? Are there any French competitions coming up? Like, what are your plans for the remaining of the year?
There are many French competitions that are coming up. I'm organizing one.
Ooh, where is it? Here is your spotlight.
My competition is in Liffré, just near Rennes. That's in Brittany, and it's fast to go there because there's a high-speed train to Rennes, and after that you just take a bus. It's half an hour, and you can go there. And I'm going to organize a marathon for 10 hours for teams, and with many competition outside. Individuals, 300 pieces and 500 pieces in duo, in pairs in English. And I've also a new competition with mixing escape game and puzzles.
I'm not sure I understand. What do you mix?
You have to solve enigma
to
get the pieces to make a puzzle.
Ooh, okay. So that is a new challenge. And where can people find out more about the competition?
It's on our website. It's the name of the competition is Fantastic Puzzles, and it's organized by the Festival Fenrir. It's an association who was holding the project, and you can find it on festivalfenrir.com/puzzles.
Very good to know. So if anyone is interested in going to France, or if they are in France, they might want to watch out for this competition.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you very much for joining us. And it was great to chat to you. I hope we will get to still chat a little bit outside of the live stream.
And also organizing online competition.
Ah, okay. That's a new topic.
Yes, it's all in French.
Yes.
It's open to everybody, but we only speak French. And I organize them around 1 month or other 2 months online. And I usually post it on Instagram, on Facebook. But my Instagram is Le Puzzle de Beats. And you can find all the information for the competition on my account and also on the website with concours-puzzle.fr.
Yeah, if you speak French, it's way easier to know to know that website. But yeah, so Concours Puzzle, and there people can find out more about the online competition.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Congratulations on your performance.
Thank you.
And yeah, see you later. You not at Worlds, but
no,
but at another competition, maybe at your online competition.
Yes, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And we are at the 2.5 hour mark. We have 32 minutes left, well, 31 and a half.
Yeah.
So people are closing in. It's the end stretch of the competition. It's actually like starting to sink in that this is the last round. There's nothing after this. And we actually have like a view of the hall as well, where we can see that like the first few tables are empty now. So those are like the teams that qualified into the final, like in the first rows are the teams that qualified into the final on like a good placement or like in the front of the row. They were the fastest ones. And they are already done, and the room is like halfway empty or almost halfway empty. So there's at the moment, we have 92
teams.
We have, no, I said the wrong number, so 37 teams that are done. It might be a little bit more, and we have another finisher. I hear the applause.
Completely puzzled. It's a mixed team as well.
Ah, yes, it's Austria and Hungary.
No, Latvia and Hungary.
Ah, okay. Oh, yeah.
Similar flag. Similar flag. I know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know the Hungarian people from this team.
Yes, so almost 40 people, almost 40 teams are finished. And apart from that, so it's 52 teams that have finished their first puzzle and that are working on their second one. And we have about 8 teams that are working on their first one still. It is both challenging puzzles, so it's not a surprise that people are still puzzling. And a German team is done. And very happy with a lot of high fives being exchanged. And you can already sit down. We have another interview lined up. It involves a little bit of logistics to get in here. And there's just one microphone, so only one of you can talk at a time. But 2 of you can sit down, 2 can stand in the back. If you're not comfortable speaking, you can also just like smile nicely. Yes, so welcome. I would say introduce your team first, please. You're going to have to move the microphone a little bit to your mouth. Yes, this is going to work.
Okay. Yeah, we are the team gotta puzzle them all. And that's Connie, Karin, Verena, and me, Simone.
Yes, it's actually one very, very useful thing with team shirts if you have your names on it. Because then as we are watching the live stream, because it's just so many people, it's very hard to tell. But like I kept saying that this is the Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club that is puzzling now. But yes, so that you have the names, because it's just, yeah, it helps the work. So thank you very much. And yes, you did great today. Tell us about how you puzzled.
Yeah, we really liked the first puzzle actually, even though we thought it's very hard, but then we saw that we finished at the 7th place with this bird puzzle. And when we saw the second puzzle, we were like, oh no, we really don't like it. For us, it's super busy. I usually like busy puzzles, but everything looks the same. You have so many blue flowers, you have so many violet flowers, you have so many yellow things, so it wasn't easy for us.
However, you did manage to tackle it, and as far as I know, your team has also done extremely well at the Austrian Championship recently. If I'm correct, you are the Austrian champions.
That's true, yes.
So how did you go into this competition? What was your goal?
I really don't know. Sometimes we were joking like, yeah, we're gonna make the top 6. If we would have gotten the right puzzle, maybe it would have worked because the bird was, we were scratching on the top 6, but then with this we really went down. So then we thought top 10 would be nice, and we are 11th now, which is nice, but the 10 seconds between us and the 10th place, they are hurting because we couldn't find 2 pieces.
Oh no.
And we were looking for them and they were on the floor, so.
Yeah, so that's what cost you the 10th place now.
Yes, but we are proud. I think we did really well.
Yes, you should be.
Thank you.
Also, when you have just this little difference compared to like the team before you, you know that it's really just like a tiny detail where it like slipped or that cost you like those extra seconds, and you are capable of it. So at like the next competition, you can go in knowing that you can do it.
Yeah, that's true. And we have to practice this kind of things.
Yes, that's another lesson that can be drawn from here. Are you also going to Worlds?
We are now, yes.
And now?
Yes.
So until now it was not decided?
No, and we are even not registered until now, but after the Austrian Championship we thought, okay, we have to go.
Yes, well, after a result like that at the Austrian Championship, it kind of makes it worth it.
That's true, yes, and it's nice. We really work well together as a team, so we thought, okay, we should.
Yes, definitely. How was the competition for you? Like, just the general atmosphere with all the rounds, like whatever you feel important.
I think it was really well organized. I think many things work even better than at the Worlds last year because the results, they were up on time, like just a few seconds and you had your result. That was amazing. Another thing I want to point out was that all the puzzles were unpublished, so that was also great and it makes it equal for everyone. And in general it was great. We really enjoyed it.
Then you must be very happy to hear that.
Yeah, and we are very happy, and we are very happy that neighbor country visited us. And
Yes.
we are very glad and very grateful for you because you also put the Instagram posts and things. So we always followed Vienna clubs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also know you from like back in Worlds from last year, so I actually know that you also did extremely well in your first round.
That's true, but not in the final.
Well, not in the final, but like the first round was something like if someone was watching the first round as well, I was cheering very much for you.
Thank you.
Yes, how was that?
The first round?
Yes.
For me, I couldn't believe the time because I've never done a puzzle in that time for first try. And I thought, okay, maybe below 50 minutes, and then it was 41, so it was closer to 40 minutes than to 50 minutes. So I don't know how this happened. And that was my moment in this European Championship. I think that's my moment.
That was your moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, so did it make it worth it traveling here?
Of course.
I'm so glad to hear that.
Yeah. It was.
Yes, and then how was the finals? Were all of you in the finals?
Yes.
Yes.
We should point out Verena because she's a top 20.
Yes. You can also hand over the microphone at one point so that she can talk about it, but she doesn't want to. Okay.
It's okay.
Yes. Congratulations on that.
No.
Yeah. If you're not comfortable speaking, it's fine. Yes.
Yeah. We also enjoyed pairs yesterday as well. Connie and me. We're also proud of that. So in overall, it was great, except for the final in solo final yesterday for me. But
yes, well, that was the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else? Is there anything coming up in Austria or any other competition that you're still planning for this year or event?
I haven't heard about anything.
And then, do you organize regular meetups though? Which is like very visible on Instagram as well. Like, tell us a little bit about the Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club. You can also show off the T-shirt.
The Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club is like organized by Lena from Vienna. And she organizes meetups every month, which is really nice because we just come together, have dinner together, and we just puzzle in a cozy atmosphere. Sometimes we do speed puzzles, but it's more about the talking with each other and socializing and meeting each other. And in July, there's the first puzzle swap she organized, which is also super nice. But I cannot go there because I'm not here. But I have a pile of puzzles waiting at home, which I wanted to swap, but I can't now.
Oh.
But the puzzle club is awesome.
How many members does it usually have?
When we meet up, we have, I think, 30 spots, and they are like booked out immediately.
So spots are limited.
Yes, because we have a small, it's not a small room, but we have a room in a hotel where we meet. Yeah, and you cannot put so many people in there.
So it is always in the same place.
Yes.
And if someone wants to join because they're watching the live stream and they're like, oh my god, puzzling is so cool, and I live in Austria, where do they find you and how do they sign up?
They should follow Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club on Instagram, and then you basically know everything, because there are the posts when there's the next meetup, and if you see the post, you should text the Puzzle Club immediately that you want to join. Otherwise,
yeah, so that's a good background information to know, that it books out so quickly that you really as soon as you see it, you should be writing them. Is there any plan to expand it, to make it bigger, or to organize anything else?
I have no idea. I think you have to interview Lena.
Well, you're going to have to send her here.
Yes.
Yes, because we are hunting for interviews all the time, so she can still talk about it. So mostly it's just Instagram, and it is because I follow it as well. So I know that it is pretty active on Instagram, so it's easy to find, and it's the Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club.
Yeah.
Anything else that you feel like you want to share about the team? What if you had to choose, which category would you pick to compete in if you could only pick one?
I think it would be the team for me, or bear. I like to puzzle with people. I don't like to puzzle alone so much.
Why is that?
Because if you get something like the tree, there's no one who helps you out, and you have to do it all on your own.
Did you switch around a lot with these puzzles of who does what? Oh my god, I can't do this, just take it?
Yes. I had this greenish part of the bird, and I said to Connie and to Karin, I cannot do this, please take it.
Yes.
So, yeah, in this case, yes.
But you have fought your way through it. And
yeah.
And you still achieved a very good result. It's still top 15 at the final of the European Championship. 11th place is very, very impressive. Also an extremely good time here. So, yes, congratulations. Thank you very much for coming over for an interview.
Thank you.
And it was great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
And just in time to see Angelika and her team finish. It's also a mixed team, Germany and Hungary for sure. Yeah, you actually know the teams way better than I do of what they are made up of. But yes, there's 20 minutes left of the competition, and I'm going to have to check my results again of what is happening here. How many finishers do we have? And a lot of them, a lot of teams jumped in already. Almost 50 are done. It might be 50 now because the results are still traveling to the admin area. So half of the teams are done with both puzzles, which is quite a nice number.
Yeah.
It is true that there were not extremely high numbers of teams entered into the qualifications, so it was actually possible for some teams to qualify even if they couldn't finish their second puzzle in the first round. So it is possible that there's going to be teams still puzzling at the end and when the time runs out, which is completely fine. It is a big achievement to do all three hours of puzzling, and even to just complete one puzzle in that time. It is it's a skill that people have to develop. Anyone can sit down to puzzle, but it takes a lot of practice for people to get quick.
Yeah, and of course some part is from your own capability, and also we could see lots of examples that the people can get better and better and quicker and quicker. So it's worth practicing, absolutely.
Yes, it is possible to get quicker. the very good example is Victor, for example, but Vicky as well from Hungary. But Victor from Poland is actually one example as well, because I think he was sharing his times at first, and he couldn't really do a puzzle in under an hour and 20 minutes. And now look at him. So which is like, yeah,
It's another person.
It's another person. But Vicky as well from Hungary, she also had like 3-hour long times, I think.
I remember that she just posted several weeks ago that, for example, 2 years ago, she started a 1,000 pieces puzzle, and she finished around 3 hours. Now it's in 1 hour and 30 minutes. And even if we are talking about 500 pieces, which is absolutely, she's practicing 500 pieces, it's really quick. So it depends on the picture, but some cases it's below 30 minutes.
Yes.
So it's absolutely worth practicing.
Yeah, and it's absolutely a skill that you have to practice. And as we were saying, because like it was not extremely hard to qualify from the team competition. Many teams that were not on the slower side of the spectrum could still make it into the finals, and they are still puzzling. But yes, it's just practice, and a lot of teams also just formed yesterday. So so many of them are puzzling together for the very first time, and as maybe from some of the interviews it showed as well, it takes connection and coordination for people to work together well. So it takes some time as well, and that might also slow a team down.
And I heard from several teams that for them it's how can I say? So it's a really, really nice feeling that they can participate in a final.
Yes, like that's one beautiful thing about puzzling, and I think that it's still possible because it's small. It's a small sport at the moment, but it's probably not going to be like that for extremely long. But at the moment, you literally just find out about the competition, and you can sit down, and you might even make it into the final, as in like the team, not the singles or the pairs anymore. But yeah, it's possible to just fall in and just randomly find the competition and start puzzling, and actually make it into the final of a European Championship, which is like, yeah, a kind of a beautiful thing.
And what I really like what the Austrian team mentioned, or the speaker of the team, that now they decided to take part in the World Championship. And for example, if we are taking example from Hungary, that I would say that there is a hardcore team in Hungary, and they take part all the events what we organize. And of course, we knew that who will be the ones who register immediately for the European Championship. And lots of people said that they are waiting for the Hungarian nationals. And we organized it at the end of March, as I mentioned. And after this Hungarian nationals, another big number of Hungarian participants registered to the European Championship. And in the meantime, what I also mentioned, there were lots of people who we don't know at all, and suddenly the number of participants reached a really high level from Hungary. So we are very glad about it.
Yes, it's also a good way to start making this popular in this side of Europe as well, because I have heard from competitors from Slovakia and Slovenia, for example, that it's just starting to pick up.
Yes.
And yeah, it's spreading. the puzzle bug is spreading.
Yeah.
And another finisher here.
Maybe Bulgaria, if I'm right.
It could have been. This is the UK team, though. You might have recognized Aaron from yesterday, who was co-hosting the pairs final. And yeah, they're doing great there. And another piece, and done.
Crazy connections, yeah.
Yes. We have less than 15 minutes left. It's actually 14.
And it's almost over.
It's almost over. Yeah, it has been an incredible event. Like, it also takes time to like sink in. It has to like kind of reach your brain that this event is like, it can be compared to like a wedding that people are that people are planning. That like you work on it for months and months, maybe
a long
year,
time, yes.
for an extremely long time, and then it's done in like a second.
Absolutely.
And it really feels like that, especially if you're kept busy the entire time,
Yeah,
which you most
exactly.
probably were. Yes. Just tell us some fun backstage thing, if there's still anything. How did you coordinate all the volunteers? Where did you get the volunteers from?
I would say that most of the volunteers are from the hardcore, what I mentioned, so from the hardcore team. And it's what is really difficult because they like puzzling very much. So they had to decide whether they want to register in some of the categories or they sacrifice themselves and do not compete right now, only help us in the in organizing the activity. And also we are very grateful for them because some of them I know that they like to puzzle, they like puzzling very much, but now they skipped it and they are here for helping us. So it's also amazing. And what is funny, what you asked for, that we thought that 3 months long registration period would be more than enough for a European Championship. And I cannot say an exact number that how many people are asking us after the registration period ended that, oh no, is it not possible to register anymore? It's funny.
Yes, that is actually a conversation that I had with János, your co-organizer. That I was telling him that maybe you should add like an extension of the registration period, because I have also organized competitions, not just puzzle competitions, but others as well. And there's always people who like a week before the competition, they're like, hey, can I enter? And stuff like that.
And we were thinking, so we not prolong the registration period, but immediately we were thinking about the registration in person, what we could finally deliver. But at first time we didn't know whether we can solve all the administration, all the background work behind it, but finally we did. So we didn't give up any time. And we wanted to arrange that at least we could give this possibility, and also we promoted this possibility, this opportunity for the people in all channels what we could, and we asked everybody. So you could see the winners, the best ones, the quickest ones. So we kept in touch with them, and we asked them to promote the event, to promote the opportunities, for example, about this registration in person. So lots of people helped us, not just from Hungary, but I would say that almost from all the countries. And of course, we would like to thank for all the European jigsaw puzzle associations as well, because with most of them we were in close contact to advertise this event.
Was there any association that like you would especially like to highlight, that they gave you a lot of help in either organizing or just admin or tips or brainstorming?
So as I mentioned, absolutely the first one is the German association, and we get in touch also with Spanish, with Polish, surrounding countries, so from Austria, Czechia, Slovakia, Slovenia, Romania. So also, for example, in Romania, the association shared on their own Facebook site as well, and on other channels as well, because in some countries the social media is not so popular or not so frequently used. And that's why we ask them to use any other channel, what they can reach all the people, all the possible participants. Another Hungarian team.
Another Hungarian team is done with 9 minutes to spare.
Anyway, and I remember that maybe they were the last team who qualified themselves. If I remember well, the table number is 100. But maybe I'm not right, but something is.
Yes. Something is like
coming
tingling
to my
your mind.
Yes. It's really difficult to tell it this because sometimes I cannot think at all. So.
Yes, with just 10 minutes left, we have 55 teams finished, probably 57 now. So
another Hungarian team,
Nori,
Puzzle Garden.
Puzzle Garden. You have met Nori yesterday, if you have been watching the stream. She also gave us a long interview, which was a very interesting discussion. And yes, so there's about 57 teams done with both puzzles, and all of the teams have finished their first puzzle. I can tell you that because table number, like the 100th place is also done with the first puzzle. So everyone has finished the first puzzle.
Yeah.
Which is very, very nice. It is at least a little bit of like, you know, feeling of success for even those who are not on the speedier side. They get to experience like the switch as well.
Yeah.
And there's another, the Huntonia team.
It's like Hungary and Estonia.
Yes. I also like the t-shirt very much.
Yes.
And they are looking for the piece. There it is. And done.
Done.
Very nice. So yes, there's still finishes rolling in, and there's about, yes, a little bit over 6 minutes left. So there's still a lot of pieces to be placed.
And in a Hungarian team.
And every place counts in this competition.
Absolutely.
So as usual, the leftover pieces are going to be counted for all the teams that didn't finish on time, and those are going to be logged onto the website as well. So it's going to be visible for everyone. You can check on the results on the website of the Hungarian Puzzle Association.
Absolutely, and just you mentioned the names. I really like these funny team names.
Oh yeah.
So when the registration arrived, we were laughing a lot because, for example, for me, Rest in Pieces is one of the.
Oh yes, Rest in Pieces is extremely funny. I like Pixel Perfect very much, and the Polish Finish is also very, very nice, which is also a merged team, international, Polish and Finnish, if you haven't guessed so far.
And
so
hopefully they will finish.
And hopefully they will finish. And then there's some team names that have like a very clear message, which is like, we're just playing, or leave us alone, which is also like very easy to understand.
For me, is one of the favorites is Gone with Puzzles.
Gone with
the puzzles, like Gone with the Wind from the movie.
And that is actually one of my strategies to come up with team names, is to like, you know, take like a longer movie title. And our favorite little mascot. We have met him a couple of times behind the scenes as well. Yes, so to take like a movie title, whichever it is, and just switch one word with puzzles or Jigsaw.
Another example: the good and the bad and the puzzle.
Yes, exactly. Or our team name with my team's team name from the last Hungarian Nationals, which was I Know What You Puzzled Last Summer. So yeah, that's also one. But in general, it's also like this nerdy thing that I love about like puzzle competitions in general, is that like everyone loves puns because they're just funny.
Yeah.
Peacekeepers.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Another very speaking name, We Come to Party. So, yeah, it's a clear mission statement. It also like determines what the team really stands for.
And sometimes I'm really sorry that some team names, Hungarian team names, sounds very good in Hungarian, but if you translate it, it's not so funny. But
yes, it's puns.
Yeah.
It's because a lot of Hungarian teams have entered with a Hungarian name, so it's not as funny for the international competitors.
Yes.
Yeah, there we have gone with the puzzles. And your mom's favorite team is also quite nice.
Yeah.
And then another team that we signed up with for a marathon later in the year is because it's just so many team names that you have to come up with. We signed up with the team Too Lazy for a team name.
Yes.
Which is also
For
a clear
example,
mission statement.
If you check the first few rankings, Yes, the finish line. The finish line changed their team name after the registration period was closed. So we were just thinking about whether we allow to change something, and finally we, of course, allowed because their name was no name yet.
Yes. Yeah, it takes time sometimes to come up with the perfect one.
Yeah.
And we have 3 minutes left, so there is not much time left, but people are still hardcore puzzling.
And you can see that.
And what can we see?
You can see that lots of teams are puzzling here, which means that the volunteers will have a huge job with counting the left pieces.
Yes. So there's still a chance to finish, and there probably 3 minutes are probably not going to do the trick. So that is probably not going to be finished in the upcoming 3 minutes. But as far as I could see, there are some teams where there's not that many pieces left.
Yes.
And just as a reminder, this is there's another team.
Another team, the
Yay!
UK.
The UK team is done with 2 minutes to spare. Congratulations. Amazing job done.
Absolutely.
And so yes, it might look like there's a lot of pieces left, especially with this team, for example, but we have 8 hands working at this, so it is less pieces per person left over.
Yeah. So we will see. And what is tricky, again, that in most cases, I know that most of the participants know, but just for the visitors, that most Ravensburger puzzle are not 1,000 pieces, but 1,008.
Yes, so it's not exactly 1,000 pieces. That is like the result of the piece cut.
Yeah.
So yes, it's not exactly 1,000 pieces. That also could be inspiration for a team name at some point.
Yes.
Over 1,000 pieces. And the 1 minute mark is up. So we have 1 minute left. And it feels like everyone has sped up a little bit just to place those couple of last pieces.
Yes.
I don't think they're going to make it anymore, but in this case, at least they don't have to count that much anymore,
exactly.
which is also like a nice benefit because it is tedious to count all the leftover pieces. And in some cases, especially for the people who have just recently started their second puzzle, most probably it's easier to count whatever has been completed already because, the rest is just way too much. And it would also take a lot of time.
And I also like this name, like leftovers for a team.
Leftovers. It can also be slightly demeaning of nobody else wanted them. And it's 10 seconds left.
10 seconds.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Hands off. A big applause. Because also with this countdown, this was the last countdown of the competition.
Yes, the 10th.
So with this was the last round of the European Jigsaw Puzzle Championship. It has been a whirlwind of a competition. There has been a lot to see. It was extremely exciting at times. There were, I really hope, some interesting discussions in the streaming as well. Thank you so much for following along. Yes, pretty much. The leftover pieces are going to be counted as usual. The results are going to be uploaded onto the website of the Hungarian Puzzle Association. And we are going to move on to the results and the finishing ceremony with awards and the crowning of the European champions, which is going to happen in about an hour, if I'm correct?
Yes. It starts at 2 o'clock.
Yes. Is there anything that we should know about the award ceremony?
There will be representative from the Truffle Hungarian part for the solo and for the pair categories because they covered these two categories. And there will be one person from the Regio Játék, which I mentioned, the official distributor of Ravensburger, and he will help us in giving the prizes for the team categories winners.
That is going to be nice to watch. It's going to be a celebration for everyone, for sure, because in the end, this is what I think this competition is. It's a celebration of this newborn sport, which is speed puzzling. It was an opportunity for everyone to get together, and it was very exciting to watch. So thank you very much for joining us, and well, hopefully see you soon.
Hopefully, yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Also for everybody, for the followers. So thank you.
And thank you, Marian, for joining me for this round.
It was a great pleasure.
It was a good conversation.
Not familiar, not for me even to talk in front of the camera, but
yes, but I'm going to give you some official praise. You did very well. It was great to host with you.
Thank you. Thank
so
you very
thank
much.
you so much once again, and see you at the next competition. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.